be the starter. A little bit better runner than Jermaine. You can see he's rushed for 198 yards. His 2 interceptions, both were big, and they came against the Michigan Wolverines. Busby talking to the coaches upstairs to get a read on what the secondary showed him that time for the Buckeyes, so he doesn't make the same mistake for Bowden. And now the Bucks come up with a 2nd down and long. That first down marker is across the 30-yard line. They'll try Pepe again. They'll pound the middle. Not much doing against that front. Julian Pittman that time. Now your backs and receivers for the Buckeyes, they've got some speed here too. D. Miller, great year. And David Boston can bring it. We've watched Pepe Pearson. John Lumpkin can get in there, but the focus is on this offensive line. Walter and Golston must keep the line of scrimmage clean, or folks, this one's over in a heartbeat. There is too much speed across that front for the Seminoles unless this Buckeye offensive line digs in. This is 3rd down. The Gators did a magnificent job on Wadsworth. Coming on Jackson, they throw over his head that time. They let him come upfield, but nothing doing for Keller. And you can see the speed. They got fooled on the pass outside, but they react so quickly. This Seminole front is as quick as any bunch in the game. Spires, Johnson, Pittman, and Wadsworth, something to prove. They did not do that well against the Gators. Coward, back from a devastating knee injury. Bush, one of the brightest linebackers around. The corners, they're okay. That's by Florida State standards. There's no Deion Sanders out there, but they'll get the job done for you. And now Bartholomew drops back into punt formation. This is the first punt of the game. It came following the turnover. The Buckeyes unable to move the ball. And Bartholomew hangs it very high. The Florida youngster will win all the way to Columbus, Ohio. He's in, breaks the plane, coming out on the break. Quarterback Jackson was over there talking to the offensive linemen. They must give them more time, especially the tackles like Golston. You can see Jackson just walking away from them now. And it's Coach Bowden's 2nd offensive set. And again, he's going to show the shotgun for Busby. Buckeyes show blitz. Coles goes in motion. Busby going to drop it over into Miner's hands. Miner slips more, could not get past him, and the linebacker Johnson brings him down, number 52.
One thing Florida State is doing is they're going without the huddle, trying to keep Ohio State from substituting their nickelback, but John Cooper did get Central McClellan in the game for the 2nd down play.
And that means that linebacker Johnson, who made that stop, goes out. So an extra corner, 5 defensive backs, and whistle before the snap. Big 12 officiating crew here. Bailey, the defensive end, signaling that it's going against the Seminoles, and certainly that whistle prior to the snap will indicate the same thing.
False start. Offense.
Now the Buckeye defensive front. Young, of course, no Vrabel, no Pincus this year. Rodney Bailey, freshman out of Cleveland, steps in there. There's the heart of this defense. Rudzinski, the big cat, and Johnson, who goes out for the nickel man. And Dan mentioned you're a nickelback, and there he is on the right-hand side. That's central to cover one of the wide receivers. Right now he is locked up on a slot man. Busby under pressure beautifully, and Miner slips the first man before he's buried by the big cat on the far side.
And that first man just isn't anybody. That's Antoine Winfield. Watch the pressure on Busby. The Buckeyes only have 32 sacks on the year, but if they can knock down Busby a number of times, as Nale Diggs does that time, that will put an effect on Busby.
Now it's 3rd down. They could use that inside draw play that they like out of this shotgun, but instead they're going to throw the swing to Miner. Miner could not get away from Damon Moore. Short of the first down, a loss of a couple of yards. The Noles forced a punt.
Busby's completed 4 of 5 passes. All the plays for Florida State have been passes, and it seems like they've all been swing passes. Gary Berry with the safety blitz. Katzenmoyer are also in there on the quarterback. That's why he threw it out to his running back.
Cottrell is the punter, and David Boston. A punt rush is on, but they couldn't get there. Boston fields 36, slips the first man, but not the second, and he's down at the 37-yard line. There is a penalty flag thrown on the play. So we'll sort this Penalty out. The early going indicates that we might have a defensive battle in here, and that would be a bit of a surprise.
Illegal substitution on the offense.
Moore making a great stop and an interception. Off to a strong start. So it's going to be declined. The Buckeyes are going to decline this on the far side. Field position not all that bad.
Illegal substitution on a kicking team. Penalty is declined. First down.
So now we'll see about that offensive line, Dan, to see if they can hold up. And we will come right back and find out. We're scoreless at the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Some decisions are harder than others. The Chrysler Sebring LXi Coupe or the Sebring Limited Convertible. For the passionate side, fully independent suspension, speed-sensitive steering, multi-valve V6, and a luxurious leather-trimmed interior. The practical side, lease the convertible from just $299 a month. And on the coupe, get $1,000 cash back and luxurious leather at no charge. Some decisions are easier than others. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
The Best Western in New York City is conveniently located right in the middle of everything. Best Western, across the street from Ordinary.
Tonight's topic, Free Friday. Yeah. Sir, you played a critical role in the creation of the new Burger King fries that are being given away this Friday?
That's right, Bill. Free Friday.
Amazing. Now this.
The crispy new Burger King fries beat McDonald's fries in a nationwide taste test. Stop in Friday, January 2nd for a free small order.
Welcome back. Why give them away?
It's giving something back. I started from the ground up.
Literally.
They had a happy life until 3 teenagers decided to play a terrifying game.
The Juveniles.
Rob Lowe.
I can't let this go.
Outrage, ABC Sunday.
Scoreless. And our first quarterback change, as Dan Fouts told you at the top of the broadcast. They would not wait. And so Joe Germain will try the second series of the game. He'll be the Buckeyes quarterback next season. Wadsworth coming hard, steps into the pocket, fires to Pearson down the middle, wrestles it away. A big-time catch inside the 40-yard line.
Ohio State proving that they can throw the ball a little bit too. Joe Germain, coming off the bench, as he's done so many times this year, is going to throw the ball deep. This is a nice matchup that he has with Pepe Pearson working against Chevin Smith, the strong safety. Now, if Ohio State can continue to get that mismatch on the outside, watch for Michael Wiley to come in the game and exploit it as well.
Jackson keeps his helmet on. 3rd and 1. You might see him for an option if the Buckeyes need it. Situational substitution. Short drop. Germain fires too high. Boston running the slant. And it's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Tay Cody, the freshman, with coverage. Down we go to Jackaroo. Jack, Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year to you, too, guys, up in the booth. But, you know, Brent, you were wondering maybe what Stanley Jackson was talking to the offensive line about. Not a lot about being the quarterback of the Buckeyes, but more about senior leadership. He went to the line and he said, look, we have got to calm down. We can't be so emotional. Take things a little slower. He takes the helm one more time, Brent. He's under center.
You bet. Comes right in the middle of a series for Cooper, something we did not see during the regular season. Who knows what Spurrier might have created. Looked like a broken play, and Jackson, with Coward hanging on, made his way to the 35-yard line. Didn't look very pretty, though, Dan Fouts.
There are not a lot of running plays against Florida State that are going to look pretty. They give up 1.5 yards per rush all year long. That is phenomenal run defense.
I thought the work, and looking at the tape, of the Gators' offensive line was unbelievable against this front.
Now, here's a broken play here. It looked like Jackson may have turned the wrong way. Definitely it was a counter play to the right side, trying to trap Wadsworth on the outside.
They need a good 6 yards for a first down. Wadsworth lined up at an angle, can't be cut, jumps over the top. They throw to Keller, the fullback, and back they come. What great speed along the front. Number 53 coming back all the way, made the play, and that was Corey Simon.
We talk about the speed of the wide receivers and running backs at Florida State, but Corey Simon and Sam Cowart, Lamont Green, Dale Bush, all the linebackers of Florida State have exceptional speed.
So it is 4th down and 9 with Peter Warrick standing on the Noles 10-yard line, and Bartholomew. Daddy went to Florida State and played, wasn't offered a scholarship, and that's how the young man wound up playing for the Buckeyes. This one going into the end zone and coming out of the 20-yard line. And I'm going to go back on one thing, though. If they don't start blocking Wadsworth, I'm telling you, it's going to be a nightmare for him. Big fella came right over the top that time.
And there's been twice now that Ohio State has had excellent field position. Their average starting position is midfield, and they have nothing to show for it except a couple of punts that have gone in the end zone and come out to the 20-yard line.
So there's Coach Jacobs calling the offensive plays upstairs. But the big concern for the Buckeyes coaching staff right now has to be the performance of the offensive line. 1st and 10 for the Noles. We're scoreless at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Still in the shotgun. Busby. Minor, the freshman, off to his right. Busby steps up. He wants to move Minor over to his left side. He'll frequently run out of this formation, but he has elected to throw again high, incomplete. Coles, and Plummer with coverage on the wide receiver that time. There is a penalty flag down on the far side of the field.
So far in this first quarter.
A handoff inside. They run inside of Rudzinski, who took himself out of the play, and Minor up to the 47-yard line. A great call against a Red Dog by a linebacker that time. 22 yards up inside the backer who was coming, and Mark Richt making the play call upstairs, and he does a wonderful job as the offensive coordinator.
If you're going to run the ball, you're going to have to block number 45, Andy Katzenmoyer. And he gets blocked right there by Whitaker. First running play for the Seminoles gets them 22 yards.
They fake that handoff. Busby pulls it back out and hits E.G. Green. Green for another Seminole first down. Crosses the 40-yard line, and he's wrapped up by Berry. But that's a 15-yard gain, and the Seminoles now are moving with efficiency, and they're starting to spread the ball around the field against this Buckeye defense.
Not only will their quickness and team speed wear out the Buckeyes, but this no huddle will also win them.
15 yards. So they win that big Trey Thomas, too, in the process over there. That offensive lineman getting ready on the left-hand side if you want to watch a great offensive tackle. Left foot poised behind as though he's going to pass protect. And Busby drops it straight back. Fires deep down the middle. Conboy, what a great catch at the 11-yard line. Oh, baby, what a catch.
And it was against the tight coverage of Antoine Winfield, but also the safety, Gary Berry, comes over. But you know what? Peter Warrick expected to catch this ball. He didn't pay any attention to the safety, took the hit along with the catch, and the Seminoles are in great shape.
Every offensive play from the shotgun. Not one huddle yet for the Noles. Threatening for the first time. Here's Minor wrapped up beautifully by number 32 that time. And that was Diggs, the freshman linebacker who entered the game for Puggage, and he makes a big play for negative yardage. That's one of the best stops of the game for the Bucs so far.
He's got to get in that backfield, make some tackles for losses. He leads the Buckeyes in sacks with 6. That's not very many.
Lined up on that front like he's going to come again at this formation. Movement, but were they pulled by the Noles? The umpire here will sort this one out.
This is a...
before. Minnis checks in as a wide receiver. Busby's back in that gun again. Here's the end around on the reverse. They bring Coles, great speed. Katzenmoyer can't get him. Coles, end zone, Seminoles. Yeah, but he may have just stepped out. He did step out. Did not back around the 8-yard line. They're going to mark this one.
On the reverse. Coles is going to use his great speed, but sometimes you're just unlucky. Watch as Antoine Winfield will block Andy Katzenmoyer right about there, and then Coles steps out of bounds here at about the 8-yard line. Great call by the official right there.
The toe was out, no question, or it was a touchdown. Coles thought he had walked the line, but he was just on it. A great call by this officiating crew. And let's take a break right now. The Seminoles are going to talk about it. They're out at the 8-6. The Noles can get a first down without scoring. Still back in the shotgun. Busby under pressure. Takes a hit. End zone. Down. Bullock got it. Plummer's got the ball. An interception in the end zone. Number 19 with the pick.
Interception now for Thad Busby. It's the guy they want to work on. Most teams do when Antoine Winfield's the other corner. But this is 5 times this year now. Ahmad Plummer has come away with an interception. None more important than that one as he turns away the Seminoles after a very impressive drive.
Yeah, you know what I think, Dan? I think he's an underrated corner. I think every time I've shown up to see him and they throw away from Winfield, he gets the job done.
And he played that excellent. Excellent defense, took away the post and broke on the corner route.
Stanley Jackson in, and the Bucks are going to use 2 tight ends. They're going to ask for help against the front 7 of the Noles. Pepe Pearson, nothing. They are getting whipped at the line of scrimmage. They must find a way to clean up that line of scrimmage against the Noles. Stevens in defensively. Jackaroo, what about the injury situation?
Well, Brent, the Florida State Seminoles will have to work the rest of the night without Darrell Bush, their star linebacker. He has suffered a knee injury. They say there's some ligament damage. They're going to put a big brace on him. He'll stay out here to watch the rest of the game. But they say he's done for the night.
And that means Bobby Rhodes, with a lot of heat on him, steps in there. Bush, one of the smartest linebackers in college football. Jackson's got to run away from the pressure. One way, 25, 30. That's the best way to handle that pressure is with the mobile quarterback out of bounds at the 43-yard line. 26-yard gain.
Well, it's part of the situation substitution for Ohio State. This was going to be a pass play, but this is the athletic ability of Stanley Jackson as he risks off a 26-yard gain.
Dan, you look down there at all that talent for the Seminoles as Jackson goes now off to the far side and Jermaine checks in. But you look at that talent. I think they had 4 of the first 15 picks last year in the NFL draft. I believe that every player has been recruited by Bobby, who's gone there for 4 years and played. 67% have played in the NFL. That's unbelievable. And you can see Coward, who will play in the NFL coming up.
And both these teams are well represented in the National Football League.
There's Mickey Andrews, the fine defensive coordinator. He was not a happy camper after that Gator game, my friends. Steve Spurrier's gotten into him mentally a little bit by starting all that stuff about dirty play and hitting them late. It's bothering the Noles, I can tell, just a little bit. They're just a little bit off their game when they play Florida. But remember next year, Gators coming to Tallahassee. Maybe a little different. 2nd down and 10. Jermaine. Got Miller in motion now. Better job of blocking. Fires to the sideline. Boston's got it. To the 42-yard line. David Boston. Samari roll, number 2. And when you talk about number 2, it was the last time you'll see that jersey being worn by Seminole players tonight.
You know, you got a couple of great receivers. We got about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 or 7 great receivers on the field tonight. And maybe Boston could be the best of all of them. He has more catches than anybody else on the field. An Ohio State record this year, 70, beat Chris Carter, the great wide receiver for the Vikings, record of 69.
Jackson re-enters. Keller and Pearson. Lumpkin and H-back. They'll power now with the fullback Keller. And he is wrapped up by number 45, Lamont Green. Let me conclude that story about Samari Rolle, Dan, because you and I were talking about it as he limps off, shaken up a little bit. He's going to be replaced. But that is the number worn at Florida State by Deion Sanders. And they have decided to retire jersey number 2. Well, Samari Rolle had already been given it. He's a senior. This is his last game. And so tonight we're watching it being worn for the last time. and let's hope he's able to come back from this injury.
Well, look at the tape on his right ankle. He came into the game with a sore right ankle, and you can see there he's got real problems with it right now.
Jackson fires to Miller, complete inside the 30 to the 29-yard line, and a first down for the Bucks. Tay Cody, the freshman, with coverage after the 13-yard gain.
You almost wonder when Stanley Jackson was going to say enough with this situational substitution. Hey, I can throw the ball too. He's their leading rusher so far, and he's also 3 for 3 throwing the ball.
Well, number 4 is in defensively in that backfield. That's Saunders. Now, where that weakens them is in that nickelback situation. However, the rush may be so fierce that the Buckeyes can't load up very often with 3 or 4 wide receivers. They've got to keep the tight end down, especially on the Wadsworth side. They do this time. Nothing doing against that front. Lamont Green again, number 45, in with a couple of stops on this series.
All 3 of these linebackers lead the team in tackles and sackles maybe. Number 45 is Lamont Green, and here he is just spying on Stanley Jackson, keeping him at the line of scrimmage.
Coward has the defensive call, and he passes it on now. Bush out for the night. Rhodes in. Here's the hand to Pepe Pearson. Steps into the middle, and I'll tell you, you get hit so fast. It is unbelievable trying to work against this defensive front. My hat's off to that Gator running back.
Fred Taylor.
Oh, what a job he did.
Yeah, he did. Well over 100 yards, and he had a big day today as well against Penn State. But this defense just does not give up a lot of yards rushing. Only 52 yards per game. That's phenomenal when you think of how good some of these athletes are playing college football today.
Dan, we saw Michael Wiley, number 5, on the Buckeye sideline. We'll see him against Mickey Andrews' defense. Andrews, an emotional leader. I'm sure he was all over this defensive line after that loss in Gainesville. 3rd down and long. Shotgun. Jackson wants to take it off. Runs into the middle and keeps cruising. Just short of the 20-yard line. Needed to reach the 19 for a first down. There is a penalty marker down on the play.
Big toe in the lead step. They're going to try and put a pad down there, but he continues to be in pain. They're going to rewrap it, see if he can get some of the pain alleviated. They really need him, Brent.
Yeah, Jack, what that is the plantar fascia, and that is just one of the most painful injuries a ball player can have, because all the weight is got to be supported by that ligament that runs from the balls of the feet back to the heel. And when you're a corner playing on AstroTurf, we're not going to see Samari roll tonight.
So after the penalty, it is 3rd down and 4 for the Bucks. Jackson pulls it back, fires left side high, incomplete. Overthrew everybody. Pearson was the only receiver out in that area. He didn't have a shot at that football.
But he threw it high. He threw it away even, maybe. And he definitely gave his field goal kicker, Dan Stoltz, a very makeable field goal. And that's exactly what Ohio State needs to do, is to convert this time. This is 3 times now. They have had excellent field position.
So Stoltz will attempt a 40-yarder. Bartholomew, the punter, will put it down at the 30-yard line for him. And Garnett and gold, the men wearing those colors, will try to come through and put some heat on this field goal. And the Buckeyes strike first. Dan Stoltz, the redshirt freshman, kicks a 40-yarder, and Ohio State leads favored Florida State by a field goal. We'll continue with the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
I get a kick out of seeing it a little bit myself, Brent. You believe that?
Certainly. Stoltz to kick it off. Happy New Year, Dan.
And to you.
Okay. Fielded at the goal line, and Feaster to bring it out again. Number 33 twists his way to the 21-yard line. And what about Busby's 2 interceptions? 1 critical down in the end zone by Plummer.
You know, he seems to be rushing the ball a little bit. He's perfect on the night, 6 out of 8. But the 2 that he didn't complete to his guys, he threw to the Buckeyes.
And Pugich adjusting the front for the Buckeyes.
And what Pugich told me, Brent, before the game is that this is a rhythm type of passing offense that Florida State has. So what you try to do is disrupt the quarterback's rhythm, get a lot of pressure up inside. We've seen a couple of blitzes by Katz and Moyer. We'll see more from the safeties as well.
And the fullback Glenn checks in, and they move Busby under center for the first time. the middle screen, and Miner now is over to the right-hand side, and he's down at the 31-yard line. Winfield was in on that tackle, along with number 95 defensively for the Buckeyes, and that is Jim Bell out of Youngstown.
This was really a good call, too, against the blitz. Let him come in and throw the screen, and Miner's off to a good start.
There's a long-time offensive coordinator. One of the things when you see the staff, same thing I see with Nebraska, he keeps his assistant continuity as the way. Louisiana going to be a dandy. Twists his way across the 35. And it's hard to believe when you watch him that he is a true freshman.
And again, another flag on the play, Brent, far side. And it's offsides again against Ohio State. This one they will take. It's a drive the old head coach crazy, won't it?
Yeah, Coop will be unhappy about that. Good guy. No, he takes a lot of heat, but I always enjoy being around him. When you look back over the last few years, I know he just can't seem to get past the Wolverines, but at least he can say, hey, listen, they were the national champions. What the heck?
Yeah, nobody else beat them. That's right.
And I'm reminded by someone that they also had the Heisman Trophy winner. And again, he made big plays today, Charles Woodson. I want to tell you, that interception in the end zone on Leaf when they were trailing by a touchdown was huge. Busby completes one to Green, and he's hit by Winfield. There, ladies and gentlemen, number 11 is the most underrated defensive back perhaps in college football today. Woodson took all the headlines out of the Big Ten. This fella can play, too.
And he can tackle, too. He's only 5'9", about 160 pounds, but he hit Green with every ounce of it.
There's a lot of corners who don't break you down like that and make a tackle, let me tell you. Busby roll hard right, fire high, complete. E.G. Green again, bury on him. Great receivers.
And that time, Busby threw it over the head of Antoine Winfield as the Buckeyes were in a zone defense. Watch this throw. This is a beauty. Just over the 5'9" Winfield, and E.G. Green has another easy catch.
For an easy 23 and the big easy. First down now. Knowles knocking on that door. How long could the Bucks keep it closed? There's Miner on that inside delay out of the shotgun. Slips a couple of tacklers. All the way to the 24-yard line before he is out of bounds. They use that as a draw play back in that formation, and it is clear that the coaches of Florida State, especially Rick and the offensive staff, believe that they can do some business against the Buckeyes out of the shotgun because they have really featured it here tonight so far. Now they're going to move Busby up. Quarterback Sneak had quite a long ways to go for that first down that time. Busby, though, he's a pretty efficient runner, and he picks it up.
And he was smart that time. He went on a quick count. It looked like the Buckeyes were just standing around there waiting for him to call a cadence. He just took the snap and plowed forward and picked that up very easily.
Oh, Trey Thomas, number 70, over on the left side of the offensive line. Looks like he's squaring up on Rudzinski, and he was flinching a little bit up there in that offensive line, too. Let's see what they did with the clock here.
I think your flinching call is the correct call, Brent. Somebody in that offensive line moved.
Dead ball. Ball start.
Yeah,
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
he was flinching as he was setting up. He was getting ready to pass protect. And he gets into a two-point stance over there on the left-hand side. He's not the best of athletes. Walter Jones came out of there, was a great athlete last year, #1 draft choice of Seattle. But this young fella, Trey Thomas, if he locks up on you, you're finished. He's worked hard in the weight room. He's one of those kind of overachieving big fellas when he gets up in there now, and he'll try to lock up. And the Buckeyes, of course, are trying to get around him on the outside if they can. Busby, fire left side, and it is complete again to Green, and he's going all the way for a touchdown. Berry and Winfield collide and eliminate each other, and Green just hauls it in for the evening's first touchdown.
This is E.G. Green's 30th career touchdown. And he does it as he's done so many times with taking a short pass and using his quickness and strength. Nice block outside there. Just terrible tackling, though, by a...
Welcome back to the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Happy New Year, everybody. The Seminoles of Florida State leading the Buckeyes of Ohio State 7-3. And Dan, Buckeye should have made the tackle on that play.
Well, it's going to be a blitz here by Damon Moore. Watch the block here by Donald Heaven as he comes off. Stones Moore right there. That means man-to-man coverage in the secondary. That means you got to make this tackle, Antoine Winfield, right there. He gets pushed off by Gary Berry, and it's an easy 6 for Green.
And Janikowski. Watch him. What a leg. They're going to bring it out. It's Wiley. He's going to have to hurry. And he's down 4 yards short of the 20-yard line. Penalty flag comes flying. This officiating crew's been busy here in the early going to this game. We've had a number of penalties on both sides of the ball.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit on the kicking team.
So that'll hurt Coach Bowden and the Seminoles because they had sealed them up around the 15-yard line. And there you can see the numbers. And even though they've thrown a couple of picks, they had an advantage there, Dan, with a passing yard.
Absolutely. The 2 turnovers did not hurt Busby at all. In fact, he's completed every pass he's thrown. He's 10 out of 12 with those 2 interceptions. But, you know, Bobby Bowden reminds me of Don Coryell. When I would start with a couple of interceptions or incompletions, Coryell would just tell me, listen, you got 30 or 40 more throws. Let's get it going. I think that Busby had that same type of relationship with Bowden.
Dan, what would you do if you were coaching the Buckeye or helping out with their offense right now as Michael Wiley has checked into that backfield?
Well, you got to have to find some way to run the ball with some consistency. Maybe a draw, maybe a trap.
Wiley in, Jermaine the quarterback. Jermaine hit on the release, and he completes it to D. Miller at the 47-yard line. First down for the Buckeye. Good-looking 18-yard gain, considering that Jermaine took a heavy hit on the play.
And that's not a bad option either, is if Jermaine can stay standing against his fierce pass rush. But remember, Florida State did not sack the Florida quarterbacks the last time out. They have 64 on the year, but right now they've gone the last game in 1 quarter without knocking down the quarterback when he has the ball in his hand.
Now here's what Mickey Andrews has done. He's using a number of defensive linemen trying to keep them fresh. Like Wadsworth is out, Bryant is in, he was bringing the pressure. Jermaine steps away, deflected beautifully that time by Cody, the freshman cornerback, with a hand on the football, knocked it away. But you know how important it is in a game to have fresh rushmen in the 4th quarter.
And in an exciting type of bowl games like this, players get tired faster for some reason. If Tate Cody makes this catch, he's in the end zone. Most improved member of the secondary for Florida State, and he's going to be tested a number of times today by both Miller and Boston. But it's very smart by Andrews in Florida State to be shuttling in fresh defensive linemen.
Second down and 10, the Knowles show a blitz. They walk a couple of backers up and quickly back them out. Wiley slips through, and there's that quickness as he picked his way beyond the 50-yard line. Now, that's a good-looking run that time, Dan.
Well, and that's what we just talked about, Brent. I mean, Wiley does have a little bit more quickness than Pepe Pearson. Pepe is a little bit more consistent, but if you're playing against a quick defense, you might as well go with the quicker of the 2 running backs, and that's Wiley on the draw play.
Andre Wadsworth returns. Let's check in with Jack Arute.
Well, you guys upstairs were talking about the Florida game and how tough that defeat was for the Seminoles. Bobby Bowden used that defeat, and he said, I felt my seniors let the team down. He gathered the seniors up before the Sugar Bowl, and he told them their future in this game rested on senior leadership. Tried to build a fire under them.
Let's see if Goldston can handle Wadsworth. He's coming on Jermaine again on the release and complete to Miller. Oh, is Jermaine hanging tough in the pocket. Goldston cannot handle Andre Wadsworth. It is unbelievable on that side. But yet Jermaine hangs in a 19-yard gain. Watch this big fella come.
Well, he's gonna just leap over the top of Goldston, but because he's so wide with a 5-step drop and getting the ball off on timing as Jermaine does this time, it's still a completion.
You know, Dan, and watching Collins of the Gators, the big tackle, I thought he stood up a lot and kept more bulk in front of him than they're doing right now.
Wadsworth is a great athlete. He will jump over Goldstein every time he tries to cut him.
Jackson in, left side, complete to Lumpkin, the tight end. Basketball player turned tight end. Across the 20 to the 18-yard line, and a big gain. Nice play. So the rotating quarterback starting to work here a little bit.
Stanley Jackson's got the hot hand. He's throwing the ball extremely well. Again, this ball is real close to being intercepted by Lamont Green, but watch what Lumpkin can do after he catches the ball. He just drills Chevin Smith and steps out of bounds. 4 out of 5 now for the non-passer, Stanley Jackson.
2 tight ends in, as Wisniewski, number 84, checks in for this lineup. Here's Keller, the fullback. Green had him, nothing doing. Loss on the play as the Seminoles again penetrate that offensive front and do the job for Coach Andrews.
And one thing we haven't seen out of the Buckeyes offensively is an option play. We may see that coming up here real soon, but the pursuit is just too good. Lamont Green, number 45, third leading tackler on this Seminole team, makes another one.
You can see why Coward and these guys will wind up playing on Sunday. They're just so quick. They bring great power, force for the Seminoles. It's unbelievable watching them down there.
And they play good team defense, very coordinated in the linebackers.
Second down. Buckeyes will try to solve that front. Don't have a lot of time. Jackson's going to take off. This has worked before, and it will again. Stanley Jackson out at the 12, and now a penalty flag comes. Smith was wrapped up with him out of bounds over here, and the flag came late. Let's see if they're going to tack on some yards.
Incidental face mask on a defense.
Well, incidental face mask grab by Chevin Smith. Good quickness by Jackson, realizing he doesn't have anything except a lot of pressure. He's going to go with the stiff arm here. And that's one of those really difficult calls on the defense because he's getting stuffed in the face by the quarterback. But he got his right hand up underneath the face mask, and that's what got him to 5 yards.
It'll be a first and goal for the Buckeyes. Trailing 7-3 here in the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Jackson still in at quarterback.
Mike Jacobs looks like he's writing a letter up there in the press box, isn't he?
Wisniewski stays in as the tight end. Wiley away from the Wadsworth side to the 5-yard line on first down. About 2.5 yards on that play. Murphy on the ground in pain, and the Buckeyes cannot afford to lose him.
Yeah, that's Rob Murphy, Football News All-American. He is their best offensive lineman, and this offensive line. There he is right here, number 56. This is always a nightmare for offensive linemen as he gets bent over backwards. This is really going to cause the Buckeyes to shift their offensive line. Goldstein's already played this left guard position this year. He's moved out to right tackle. There he is, number 56, and watch as he gets bent over right. While he's underneath, that could be a right ankle or a right knee. Good thing he's got that brace on, though. That does prevent serious knee injuries.
Well, we'll take a break and come back. The Noles lead it, but the Buckeyes are marching at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. We'll be right back.
With formidable strength and a distinctly individual style, this Sierra is the most powerful half-ton truck in GMC's history. Sierra gives you the style to stand apart from the herd. and the power to pull it. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
How fast do I really have to be going before I get a ticket?
The law's the law.
What is it, 5, 10 miles over?
Deli-style Lays. Ooh. Well, it's a guessing game out there, Mike. Here, let me show you something.
72?
Yep.
Let me see that. 90. Hey, you're fast.
Put crunch in your lunch. New Lay's Deli Style.
No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, we'll keep you connected. Wireless technology with a human touch. Nokia, connecting people.
The holidays can be stressful, but help is on the way. United Artists invites you to meet the antidote to the holiday season.
Lucky for you, I stopped by.
Tomorrow Never Dies. Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Time now for another Rogaine Bowl report. And we go to the Rose Bowl where Michigan was trying to swap the national championship. Play action, Brian Greasy to Jeremy Tooman, the tight end for the touchdown. And the Wolverines come up with a victory, 21-16, and the national championship. Brent.
All right, and congratulations to the Wolverines. What was your opinion of Greasy as a quarterback?
I thought he played an outstanding game. You know, when you go up against another great quarterback like Ryan Leaf, he really answered that challenge. Threw the long ball extremely well to Streets for 2 big scores, and, of course, that one to Tooman.
Well, we've got second down and goal, and they're going to leave Golston at that tackle spot, and they're going to move Burris in at that other guard where Murphy left with the injury. Very small spacing on the Burris side. The direct snap to Jackson in the shotgun simply runs it, and he is out of bounds. Cowart was there pursuing him. Pittman was over there also, and he is out just inside the 5-yard line.
That was like a quarterback sweep play, old single wing type of play where the tailback just takes off running along the left side. And this is why Jackson's running the ball. The rest of the team can't get it going against this great run defense of Florida State.
Goal line defense is in for Andrews. That means big number 53 down there. Mr. Fouts is going to get down in there close to that center on the left side and see if he can penetrate here on third down. Jackson's going to throw for the corner. Man not open. Boston was covered by Saunders, number 4. He's got to step in and replace Samari Roll.
Boy, he stepped in awfully well, too. Wadsworth with the pass rush here. He gets cut by Keller. Still dives and gives Jackson some trouble. This is just perfect coverage on the outside here. Watch as Boston will head to the corner. But on the outside is Troy Saunders. Plays it perfectly, and Jackson has to throw it away.
And against this defense, Cooper will settle for another field goal. Fake. Throw. Touchdown. Great call by the Buckeyes as Lumpkin makes the reception on the Cooper call. But hang on. There's a penalty flag thrown on the far side. Let's get it sorted out because Saunders said this one's going against the Buckeyes. You could tell by the body language down there. But let's let the officials sort this one out. Bowden waiting on the near side, and across the way, Cooper, his staff making that call. And again, special teams just huge in bowl games. Johnson, he was an eligible receiver. Of course he can go downfield. That's a touchdown. Let's see what happens here.
Unsportsmanlike penalty on the offense. Player coming on the field to deceive. It'll be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Well, fake field goals are supposed to deceive. Lumpkin obviously came off the sidelines, did not go to the huddle. And one guy that saw it was Dexter Jackson. Here he is, number 11. He's pointing to the outside where Lumpkin is just hanging around out there. Finally, Jackson goes out there.
15-yard penalty. Player coming on the field to deceive. Repeat 4th down.
You know, that's my New Year's resolution is to deceive.
So instead,
Bartholomew with a great throw here to Lumpkin.
Now, Stoltz will come back and attempt a 37. Dan, you're too young to remember why that rule's in. There was an end at West Point by the name of Carpenter.
The lonesome end, you bet.
And Coach Blake used to slip him in from the sideline, throwing those long passes for touchdowns. Hold on here. We got a whistle again. And there was no question that it was deceiving the defense and out there, too. And I think we'll have to get Jack Arute will have to check that one for me because Cooper was pretty adamant that it should have been a legal call.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
This is going to wind up being one of the longest field goals of the season. That's the way it's going here.
20 yards of penalties so far. And what happened here, I'm sure, is that Lumpkin did not come out to the field of play until the teams had already been set. And that's why they called the deception call on him.
So this is a 42-yarder. And we're pretty certain that Brett Bartholomew will not be thrown out of this formation. Bad snap gets it down. Stoltz has to hurry, and he's not going to make it. The snap was not good, and that threw off the timing. And the Buckeyes misfire. They have a touchdown taken away from them. Kevin Hauser just didn't put it perfectly into Bartholomew's hands. Watch how low this one is. And that threw it all off. So we'll take a break. The Seminoles are ahead here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Out of the blue, Upjohn invites me to help him test the new Rogaine. Okay. I hated this spot. I said yes. This new Rogaine Extra Strength for Men is more concentrated. It gets more to the root to grow more hair. 2 months in, it's working. My wife's saying something's happening. But maybe I'm just lucky. What about the other guys? Listen to this. 45% more hair than with original Rogaine. 45% more hair with the new Rogaine. It's the, ultimate spot remover. Hey, buddy. I'll trade you my scarf for that last Bud Light.
Come on. But the hat? That's fair. What more could you possibly want, huh? Oh.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
I never said it was the last one.
Make it a Bud Light.
With formidable strength, a distinctly individual style, and the strongest V8 in its class, this is the most powerful Sierra in GMC's history. Sierra gives you the style to stand apart from the herd. And the power to pull it. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
ABC Wednesday wishes you Happy Drew Year.
To our neighbors, what's wiggly and has 10 eyes?
They're really good kids. They just get excited when we have company. A new Drew for a new year, Wednesday.
Folks still buzzing about that fake field goal, but Jack Arute, I think by rule the officials have to make that call, right?
That's correct, Brent. What they have to do is make that call if one of the members of the team is not inside the hash marks by the ready signal. That was the case for Ohio State. They had no choice. That's also why we got a chance to update you on the conditioner, Rob Murphy. They've taken him to the locker room. They're going to do an X-ray on the knee. He is definitely done.
Well, what we got here is a tough old football game to start a brand new season as the Michigan Wolverines have put the capper on this one. Still a couple stories unfolding. Busby, pump fake, now going to go far down that far sideline, out of bounds. Warwick, the intended receiver. Of course, we've got our storyline here about which of these teams wants to jump up and be preseason #1. And, of course, tomorrow night, we bid adieu to Tom Osborne as the great coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Dan?
And Osborne has seen this play and run this play, but Busby with the out and up and he just throws it out too far for Peter Warrick.
Second down and 10. Preferred formation, shotgun for the Seminoles against the Buckeye defense. Freshman Travis Minor off to the left. Going to slip out of the formation. Here's the screen pass. He faked that he was going to block, and he makes his way to the 29-yard line. Not much of a gain. This will be about 3rd and 6 now as Antoine Winfield makes the stop.
Yeah, you go back to that fake field goal and then the penalty and then the missed field goal. You kind of lose the fact that Ohio State was on the 4-yard line and didn't get any points out of it.
Joe Paterno got down there a couple times against the Gators in the first half. That might have been a different game. Of course, you miss a great one like Curtis Enos. That's going to hurt your running game, isn't it? So Busby standing back. Looks to the far side. High, caught Coles and out of bounds. But it's a first down. And another yellow flag.
Now Coles was the recipient of a late hit after the 14-yard catch. So this is going to come out to be about 29 yards worth of Florida State yardage.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Defense. Late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Now, see the guilty party is Ahmed Plummer and Central McClellan. They can share that one. Give them both 7.5 yards of penalties there.
So we've had 11 penalties already. Meanwhile, Menace checks into the offense. He's a wide receiver, number 13. Slight build. He's over to the short side, lining up in a slot formation. They have Coles down to the right. There's that handoff to Minor, read beautifully, though, by number 68. Winfield Garnett, the senior defensive lineman, the 300-pounder, making a fine play for the Bucks.
Let's check out number 68 from the right side of the screen. It's that inside draw play handoff.
No huddle. Busby on a roll, crosses midfield. Well, you look down, and these Knowles are running another play. Diggs getting the receiver out of bounds. Or I should say the QB on that play. Still going without the huddle, up at the line of scrimmage. E.G. Green is over in the slot. Warrick is outside of him. Coles is down to the right, 3 wides. Minor is off to the left of Busby. No penetration. The flare, Minor, 45. To the 43 and out of bounds.
What the Buckeyes are trying to do defensively is they're trying to switch up what they're doing, either blitz or play zone coverage. This was a good series for Ohio State. They overcame the roughing penalty and now bring on the punter, but there's no pass rush because they're all dropping back and then closing on the receiver.
Cottrell, number 47, ready to punt. Boston back deep. Still 9.5 minutes left here in the first half. Then John and Todd will fill you in on all the happenings here on New Year's Day. In case you've been on the road and didn't hear on the radio, Michigan a winner, so they figure to wrap up the national championship. And out of the end zone, 42-yarder for Cottrell. We'll take a break, and when we come back at the Nokia Sugar Bowl, 7-3, the Seminoles will be on defense again.
With formidable strength and a distinctly individual style, this Sierra is the most powerful half-ton truck in GMC's history. Sierra gives you the style to stand apart from the herd and the power to pull it. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
Another Nokia discovery. Small words are hard to read, which is why at Nokia, we make wireless phones with screens that are big, so they're easier to read. Inspired technology with a human touch. Nokia. Connecting people.
From director Steven Spielberg, USA Today says Amistad is sheer power. And Gene Shalit says, for Spielberg, Amistad is another superlative achievement. Amistad, rated R, now playing.
The new year's full of surprises when Greg lands his dream job.
Have you ever seen him so happy? No, I have not. And I blame you.
And all new Darla and Greg, Wednesday.
Well, Dan, with Darrell Bush out at that linebacking spot, probably for the night, according to Jack Arute, but Bobby Bowden's reserves have picked up the slack.
Well, Dimitros Stevens will take over. They have so many linebackers and so much personnel, and they're all fast.
Got a shot of Sam Cowart. He, of course, calling the defensive signals, relaying what the coach wants in this situation. Jermaine back in. Steps up against the pressure. Down middle. Intercepted. Picked off at the 45-yard line by Dexter Jackson, the free safety.
Florida State still doesn't have a sack of an Ohio State quarterback, but they got great pressure that time on Joe Germain, and this is the man. 16 sacks on the season for Andre Wadsworth. He gets help inside, and this ball is just up for grabs. Easy interception for the weak safety, Dexter Jackson.
Watching Wadsworth, Dan, that's one of the reasons why he's going to be a top 5 pick. He could be the first player picked after someone settles on either one or both of the quarterbacks.
And it's a great story. He goes from walk-on to round 1 of the NFL draft. How about that?
A legendary walk-on. Played as a 200-pound tight end in high school. And now he's developed into such a fierce defensive warrior. That the handoff, the straight eye, and Minor to the 44-yard line. Sunday, the Anderson Consulting World Championship of Golf. Ernie Els always a factor in any kind of international competition. One-time U.S. Open champion. Second down for the Noles. Springer in a wide receiver. He's number 86. Outside toward the top of your screen. Busby looks underneath to Minor. Minor across the 40-yard line as Katzenmoyer could not bring him down.
Travis Minor is the major receiver for the Seminoles tonight. That's 7 catches already. And this is because the Buckeyes are playing a lot of zone defense, just dropping back, trying to take away and negate the speed of the Seminole wide receivers.
Now it's third down and short for the Noles. They flare Minor. Busby looks and it's deflected, incomplete. Number 94, that was Bailey, the youngster, deflecting the ball. Freshman out of Cleveland, who moved into that starting lineup for John Cooper.
And a true freshman at that.
Except for the 2 interceptions, Busby has been very efficient. Bowden with the lead here and 7:52 to go in the first half. And here comes Janikowski. This is a 56-yarder. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the great soccer players to come from Poland. High snap. He whacks it. But is it long enough? No. Was not. Snap was a little bit high. You wonder if that threw off the timing. Sebastian Janikowski played high school football for 1 year at Daytona Beach, a dandy. We'll be right back.
Tonight's topic, Free Friday. Yeah. Sir, you played a critical role in the creation of the new Burger King fries that are being given away this Friday?
That's right, Bill. Free Friday.
Amazing. Now this.
The crispy new Burger King fries beat McDonald's fries in a nationwide taste test. Stop in Friday, January 2nd for a free small order.
Welcome back. Why give them away?
It's giving something back. I started from the ground up.
Literally.
We drive family sedans, 4x4s, and small city cars. We carry groceries. We carry lumber. We carry life. And we all want to feel safe doing it. Making a lot of different cars and trucks makes us, well, the car company. Making them all deliver the things that matter most makes us GM. The company you count on wherever life takes you. General Motors, people in motion.
ABC Sports presentation of the 1998 Nokia Sugar Bowl is brought to you by Nokia Wireless Phones, inspired technology with a human touch. GMC Truck. Circuit City, answers in every department, low prices all over the store, and Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. 7-3 Florida State with the lead here, and Joe Germain in at quarterback with Keller and Pearson set behind him, and Germain under pressure fires a diving interception, picked off again by the Seminoles. Dexter Jackson did not have it. They're going to wave it off.
I think Joe Germain is just totally surprised and shocked that every time he turns around to throw the ball, he's got a man right in his face, so he's got to throw it early. Great effort by Jackson. He's got it, and he doesn't have it, and the ball hits the turf. Good call by the officials. This is what we're talking about. I mean, there's Bryant, number 40, taking down number 7. And Germain just hoping that Jackson doesn't pick that one off. That play selection. Remember, Florida State started the game with 7 straight passes, so they're starting to even things out almost as much as the Buckeyes.
They put Pearson out wide in this formation. One of the wide receivers. Germain, straight back.
And that's that matchup that the Buckeyes want. Pepe Pearson against Shevin Smith, the strong safety. It worked in the first quarter. That time it looked like Pearson wasn't ready for this high throw. But sometimes the quarterback's going to throw the ball high when he's getting a lot of pressure. This is a good throw, though. That's not that high. Pearson should have made that catch.
Todd Fryer being used as the nickel man by Mickey Andrews' defense in this situation. Mickey studied tendencies. Look at that look on his face, man.
Little tiny tendencies, too, huh?
Yeah. I want to make sure that you and I didn't get a peek at those, man. Huh? Look at that.
He couldn't have a whole lot written on that piece of paper, could he?
Oh, I don't think so. 3rd down and 10, and it says on that sheet, Buckeyes figure to pass. Here comes Germain. In trouble, sprints to the left. Throws incomplete, out of bounds.
And that was a good call by Mike Jacobs, offensive coordinator for Ohio State. Pressure has been on the quarterbacks while they've been in the pocket. So that was a controlled rollout by Germain, but the secondary of the Seminoles were too good. They dropped back deep and took away all his receivers.
Bartholomew back into punt again, and Warwick, the talented wide receiver, will stand back on the Noles 20-yard line, waiting to receive this punt. If he gets an alley on the sideline, he can burn you. Bartholomew, though, fine punter, improved every year at Columbus. Rips this one. Inside the 15-yard line, great coverage. Down shy of the 20-yard line. 47-yard punt and a 5-yard return. Kevin Griffin with coverage, and without Monday Night Football, what are you going to do? Well, try out this lineup. Monday night on ABC, America's funniest home videos. That's the season premiere. Then 2020, that moves to a new night this Monday, and then the practice also on a new night. So there's your new Monday night lineup. Think Hank Williams will kick off that lineup, Dan? Huh? What's the deal?
I don't think so.
1st down and 10. Busby up under center. The fullback basically a blocker. Far side high and dropped. Warwick had his man beat. He got beyond Plummer, but he simply dropped the pass.
I'm not so sure that that was Ahmad Plummer's problem, though. Damon Berry, Damon Moore, number 13, did not come over to help him, but Peter Warwick knows that was 6 points. Couldn't have been thrown any better then right in the hands and right out of them.
Seminoles are back at the line. Second down and 10. Shotgun, and here comes the blitz. Damon Moore is picked up, and they fire to Coles, who's wrestled out of bounds by Plummer at the 22-yard line. Safety blitz that time by the Buckeyes, and it was picked up in a heartbeat.
Well, that shows you how desperate Ohio State is. They're not getting any pass rush on Busby. Only 32 sacks all year long. So they're resorting to safeties and linebackers. That time it was the two nickelbacks coming right up the middle.
Now Busby. Blair, Minor, crushed at the 22-yard line, and the Noles are forced to punt. And Warwick's drop cost Florida State big time in that series.
Winfield Garnett, number 68, taking care of Jerry Carmichael there on his way to the quarterback. Another swing pass and another good defensive stand by the Buckeyes.
Keith is from Orlando. David Boston. Low, but it drove Boston all the way back inside the 25-yard line. Now he starts back up. Down at the 35-yard line. 7-3, Florida State with the lead, and let's check in with Jack Arute. Jack?
Well, Brett, so far, John Cooper's fairly happy with the performance of his team, with one exception. During several times now, he's gone over to his offense and huddled them around and told them he wants to see more rhythm. He wants them to calm down. He says, look, I understand that maybe in the beginning you really didn't know what you were up against with these guys, but after almost a full half, it's time for you to buckle down and just get serious.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how serious they get, Jack, because that starting defensive front checks back in. Stanley Jackson is in at quarterback, and you can see their production for the evening. So now Wadsworth gets that angle, gets down in that three-point stance, gets ready to tee off against Golston. Reads the ball, forced outside. Jackson hit on the throw, incomplete, and Saunders all over Boston. The yellow flag was thrown at the 46-yard line. The youngster with coverage against Samari Rolle forced out because of an injury.
Pass interference, defense.
In the college game, 15-yard penalty. Not at the spot as in the NFL.
The pressure comes from Bobby Rhodes, number 49, right up the middle. And then on the outside, something Jackson probably never saw was the pass interference on Troy Saunders. You know, Ohio State is not as penalized as Florida State. Florida State comes in averaging about 10 a game. They've had 7 already. That's an easy call on Troy Saunders.
Wisniewski staying in at tight end rather than Lumpkin. Jackson stepping away from Wadsworth. Does, but then fumble. Let's see, they whistle it down. The umpire had whistled the ball down before it came out. So the ball is dead as Lamont Green, number 45, stepped up. Jackson, in getting away from Wadsworth, ran right into 45.
He's not going to stand around that pocket very long either. There's Wadsworth with the dive. Let's see if this ball is loose. That ball is loose. That's a bad call by the officials. That one there should have been recovered and given to Florida State at midfield.
That's just one of those quick whistles that happens, you know, Dan. When Green hit him, there was such an impact. It was the sound, and the umpire was said, oh, man, he's got to be down, and he just blows a whistle, and there's not much you can do.
And I think the umpire was on the other side of Jackson and didn't see the ball.
Now Wadsworth will take a break. That means Seymour, number 56. Look at the perspiration on that young man. He knows he did not play well against Florida. He has something to prove here tonight. Jackson back now. Down he goes. This time it comes free. Recovered, though, by the Buckeyes. The fullback Keller was right there. Ball was jarred loose by Jerry Johnson, 92. Great penetration for Andrews' defensive front that time. Number 92, watch him.
There he is right there. The Buckeyes have fumbled 31 times this year. They've been fortunate enough to recover 14 of them, but that's just way, way too many. We've seen back-to-back fumbles now from Ohio State. One called, one not.
Dan, it is mesmerizing to watch the Buckeyes offensive line. Historically, they've been so good in college football. But try to block this defensive front with this muscle and speed that the Noles are bringing at them here tonight. Jackson under fire, going to go down in a heap. At the 30-yard line, Tony Bryant, number 40, came off the right side that time, and he had help from the other side. Bring in the heat, baby.
And remember, Wadsworth with his 16 sacks is sitting on the sideline getting a blow. From this side is Bryant. Here's Spires from the other side. And again, it's the quickness as Spires overpowers Lumpkin, and Bryant has a free shot at the quarterback's blind side. 13-yard loss.
Bartholomew. Wales on it, and Warwick runs it up at the 34. Had a good shot at it, and he's out of bounds. And there's a penalty flag thrown on the far side. Officials are trying their best to keep this one clean. I mean, we have got some helmet knocking going on in this one. This is about as tough a football game as I've watched in this postseason.
Both these teams are frustrated with the way they ended their seasons. Simple as that. Lost to their arch rival.
Disregard the flag. He did not have the face mask. He had the jersey.
Good correction.
Yeah, but was he trying to deceive somebody when he grabbed that jersey? Obviously, deceived the official.
Why don't we take a break? Stanley Jackson says, can you give me some extra offensive linemen? Can we play with 12 or 13? We'll be right back.
Another Nokia discovery. If technology is difficult to learn or program, most people won't. It's why at Nokia we make wireless phones that are easy to understand and operate with one-button scrolling and simple directions. Inspired technology with a human touch. Nokia. Connecting people.
Before I quit smoking, I asked my doctor, is Nicorette gum safe? And he said, to quit smoking? Of course Nicorette gum is safe. Smoking is not. People smoke to get nicotine, and they get carbon monoxide and tars, which are deadly. Smoking is the danger. Nicorette can be a big part of the solution. Nicorette lets you use nicotine when you need it to help you overcome your cravings. Don't hesitate for a second.
Nicorette gum helps you fight your cravings, your habit, your way. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Welcome back to the Nokia Sugar Bowl, the Louisiana Superdome here in New Orleans. Florida State leading Ohio State 7-3. Buckeyes kicked an early field goal against Coach Bowden. His team finally responded after throwing an interception in the end zone, giving up a couple. Scored a touchdown against Coach Cooper's Buckeyes. Seminoles have got the ball back. They have featured the shotgun with Thad Busby playing his final game. Fake the inside handoff, steps away from Rudzinski, under fire, short pass, and he's got his man Green. Green all the way inside the 10-yard line to the 7 before Moore and McClellan can bring him down.
You know, they say that nothing bothers Thad Busby. Not even staring down number 45, Andy Katzenmoyer. Watch the, after the fake to Minor. Good job stepping up and getting away from Rudzinski, but number 45 is right there. He gets the ball to Green, and Green turns another short pass into a long gain.
46-yard gain and still no huddle. Seminoles keep the pressure on. Here's the quarterback draw. Busby slides off the umpire to the end zone. Used the umpire beautifully off his right side as an additional blocker and just zipped on in for the touchdown. Wait till Fouts shows you this on a replay.
And And let's give the umpire full credit. Here he is, right here. J.C. Leimbach is going to come up with a big play here that he does never want to have to make, getting in Andy Katzenmoyer's way. Trey Thomas with a big block on Damon Moore.
So the ump and Trey lead the way. And Janikowski pumps the extra point through. And just like that, it's 14-3, 3:25. He's a good-looking runner. When you see his size, you think maybe Busby's not very mobile. But watch this nifty move here.
And this is the second nifty play he made on the two-play drive. Remember, he got away from Rudzinski, threw the ball to Green to set up himself for the touchdown. He makes a couple of nice moves here, gets some real excellent blocking there. Look at Trey Thomas send Damon Moore to the pancake griddle.
Oh, yeah. Jackaroo, Thad Busby with a couple of touchdowns here, huh?
Well, Brent, he's got a point to prove. Remember, 1 year ago in this same place, Thad Busby was booed out of the Sugar Bowl by his own Florida State fans after that devastating loss to our rival Florida. He says it's bothered him, but what he's learned is that that's part of being the quarterback at Florida State. He said, look, I come from a long line of quarterbacks, and I have to uphold the Seminole tradition. But he's out to prove a point tonight.
Yeah, Jack, and counting the 2 interceptions, Dan, he's 19 of 22. It's not bad. He's finding somebody out there, huh?
He's looking forward to playing in the NFL. He wants to use this game. He wants to use the Senior Bowl that he's going to play in, and he wants to use the combine workouts to raise his stock. I think he's doing that tonight.
I'll take Janikowski as a kicker on Sunday right now. What a leg. It's I just want to hear him kick the football. Watch big number 70 lumber on out here now.
Well, this isn't fair. He's 6'8", 350 pounds. He bench presses 500 pounds. Damon Moore goes 200 pounds. Brent, you do the math. Any way you look at it.
Well,
and he has the asset that all offensive line coaches love to see, long arms. And to be able to bench press 550 pounds with arms as long as his, that is real bona fide strength.
Buckeyes need to ignite a rally here before the half. They could use a touchdown before they go in at intermission. Peppy Pearson, nothing doing. There's no hole there as he tries to step through. Tony Bryant, number 40, 6'4", 268 on the smallish side, but very quick, number 40.
You can say number 40, you can say number 99, 49, 45, just any old number. They all fit that description.
And 90's replaced him right now, Spires. And Wadsworth's number 85. You fans who love to watch big-time football, watch the left defensive end for Florida State. There are scouts all over watching him. Coming on the jump. Jermaine puts it into Pearson's hands, and Coward, number 1, wrestles him out of bounds. And the quarterback, a little bit slow getting up, but Joe Jermaine going to be their starter from the get-go. Won't be sharing it with the senior Stanley Jackson next year.
And again, he's going to get hit from both sides after he lets this one go. Holy cow, that's...
I'm amazed he's back up.
That looked like Todd Fryer, the defensive back that came in there. It is number 35 with a big shot on the quarterback, along with Spires, hit him right in the chops.
Yeah, Jermaine was the hero of the Rose Bowl victory over Arizona State. He suffered a cut chin, I remember, in that game. Far side, high, incomplete, double coverage over there on D. Miller. Nothing doing for that wide receiver.
Well, one time they bring the blitz, they knock the quarterback down, so the next time the quarterback goes back to pass, he's only seeing a 4-man rush. But one of those 4 men is Andre Wadsworth. He gets drilled by Peppy Pearson, but Jermaine's timing is all off. He's throwing into double coverage now because he doesn't have the time to look at the entire field and find the open man.
If I'm an NFL tackle, I take on Wadsworth early next year, I call down to Gainesville and say, Steve, can I borrow that tape just a little bit? I want to see. Maybe I can get Colin's phone number and find out how he held him off like he did. It's unbelievable when you watch him play. D. Feaster back to return this one in Bartholomew Bunny. There is so much football talent in the state of Florida, they should be declared illegal. It is unbelievable. Feaster Driven back to the 20-yard line. To the 37-yard line. Well, John and Todd, you fellas have had a long day in that studio. You've done some nice work. I've been watching you throughout the early games. Happy New Year, John. What do you got planned for us?
Happy New Year to you too, Brent. It's been a long day, but it's been worth it. The Rose Bowl simply did not disappoint.
Yeah, it's a game that lived up to its billing. Went down literally to the last tick on the clock.
All right, we will have it all. We'll break down the national championship picture. Stick around. We'll have that and more, including the Wolverines from their own locker room after the game. Right now, Brent, Happy New Year. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you very much. What a great day it is for Lloyd Carr and that entire Michigan. That Busby off the play fake, going deep. E.G. gets bumped, but nothing much doing. They just wave it off. Antoine Winfield, the cover corner, on the best wide receiver Coach Bowden's got right now. That was strength on strength that time. Boy, he's a good-looking player, number 11. I hope he comes back. You know, you never know.
Well,
this town's crawling with those agents. Want to see if you want to come back? I don't know.
This town's crawling with a lot of things.
Yes, indeed. If you haven't spent a New Year's in New Orleans, you just haven't spent a New Year's, I guess, right, partner? Busby fires incomplete. Oh, he had Green wide open in the middle of that zone underneath, and they just couldn't hook up. Nothing but daylight there.
And I think what happens for Green, number 19, is he's going to just catch his foot on this artificial turf right there. Got a little help from Gary Berry, and he can't catch up to that pass.
Here's what he's accomplished so far, averaging better than 22 yards a catch. Shotgun look again. Busby steps away from trouble, and he is down at the 35-yard line. Rodney Bailey makes the stop for the Bucks. He's going to be a dandy, number 94.
That is a real important stop for Ohio State. Minute and 52 to go, and Ohio State now has 2 timeouts as they use their first of the first half. But 3 and out for Florida State. They missed on 2 passes, and good pass rush that time. First sack of the evening for Ohio State.
I guess when you think about the Rose Bowl, Michigan saved the postseason for the Big Ten. Of course, Purdue did a good job against Oklahoma State, but you think about some of the other games, and I was thinking about the score here with the Buckeyes down, and of course, a lot of folks thought Michigan might win by more points than they did today. I mean, Washington State played a little tough in that game, but Pac-10, they played well in the postseason, and the Big Ten has struggled, no question about it. Wisconsin got blasted today. Penn State didn't do well. And they have 7 teams, Dan, in the bowl games that have played, and there you can see Michigan a winner, Purdue a winner, and look at all the others.
Maybe the Big Ten has to re-examine how they play football. And I know this is sacrilegious to Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler and all the great coaches of the Big Ten, but when you look at what Michigan did, they did it by throwing the ball. And look what Purdue has done now. They throw the ball as well. Both teams victorious. And you look out at the Pac-10, 5 winners out of 6. And the speed here tonight is very evident, and Busby's having a great first half, too.
Boston ready to return this punt by Cottrell. Strong leg, kicks it low. Boston heads hard to the right. And he'll be out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Kenyon Rambo there, number 4. He's got a future as a wide receiver for the Buckeyes.
And you wonder which quarterback's going to come out. I'm sure that Jermaine is saying, hey, go ahead, Stanley. I'm tired of getting beat up here. Oh, no, I got to go in, Coach.
Your turn. I'd look across the way and see if 85 is going to come out, you know, and he is going to be out there right now.
Of course he's going to be out, but
he really has taken a couple of series off, you know.
Absolutely. He's fresh. And look at this. He's coming out of the game. No, it's Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman. They had too many defensive linemen. 4 is enough. So they put Lumpkin over, a tight end this time on Wadsworth to try and block him. Jermaine got good time that time and hit Boston. Good job by the line. 43-yard line, and you know, Jermaine is very courageous. He stands in that pocket, steps up in it nicely, and that's 15 yards.
And And the Buckeyes did a good job that time. They had Lumpkin on Wadsworth, and then they also brought fullback Matt Keller over there to finish him off.
And they're leaving Lumpkin on that side as they go to this hurry-up now, a minute and a half. They don't want to turn him loose. Defensive linemen, of course, love to get down and know that it's going to be a pass play, as the Noles will use up a timeout here with 1:28 to go in the first half. Mickey Andrews' defense.
This is what the Buckeyes are going to try to do to contain Andre Wadsworth. First, it's John Lumpkin. Look at Matt Keller. He's going to take his free shot. And still, they don't get number 85 off his feet. The one thing they've done with Wadsworth today, they've contained him as far as tackles are concerned. Who would believe at this point in the ball game, Brent, that Andre Wadsworth would only have one tackle, but Andy Katzenmoyer only has one tackle?
And they've been running past Katzenmoyer a couple times when I've been watching. But one of the things on that play, Wadsworth doesn't make a tackle, but he occupies two of your offensive weapons. If he's going to handle a tight end and a fullback, he's going to do his job.
Well, that's exactly the point. That only leaves Ohio State with 3 eligible receivers. So he is affecting the pass defense and the pass rush.
You know, it's interesting. There was all that speculation early when Katzenmoyer was bouncing all over Corby Jones in Missouri that, oh, hey, maybe he's going to challenge the NFL. He was going to come out. He's doing the right thing to stay right there in school. Man needs to play and develop physically and work on his skills. Not quite ready for Sunday action.
Well, he is still young, and he's going to be a great player. The Butkus Winter had a great year this year, but teams have found out that a way to contain him is to run right at him.
Final 1:28. Jermaine, near side, out of bounds. And that's Boston being ripped by Cody, the freshman, on that corner.
Interesting, Mickey Andrews, defensive coordinator for Florida State, is elected to just go with 3 men to rush the passer that time. Watch for him to change that in a hurry. He'd much rather send 4, 5, even 6 guys at the quarterback. Can't give Jermaine that type of time to throw.
Buckeyes scored a touchdown on a fake field goal, but it was called back because of illegal substitution, as Lumpkin did not come inside the hash as he checked in off the sideline. And that one of the big plays here in the first half. So 4 men down for the Noles. The backers drop off, and Jermaine going to have to run away from the pressure and dives close to the 40-yard line.
And the Buckeyes have 2 timeouts, so they're in real good shape with this field position right now.
You gotta like Jermaine's moxie, man.
He's a tough kid, and he's really had to make a huge adjustment. Here he is, the Rose Bowl MVP last year at this time.
Pulling back quickly. There he is, stepping away from the pressure. Fires a nice pass to D. Miller for a first down. Stops the clock momentarily for the Buckeyes. Good-looking thrower, Troy Saunders, the corner.
He's getting time to throw because the Seminoles are only bringing 4 men. Good sharp route by D. Miller coming to the inside, giving his quarterback a good target, and Jermaine could step up in the pocket and make that throw.
Well, the injured player being tended to. 46 seconds left here for Coach Cooper and the Buckeye offense. Down 14-3. They led it 3-0. And Coach Andrews talking to his free safety over here on the near side of the field. Samari Roll already out with an injury. They also lost a linebacker. They lost Darrell Bush because of an injury.
And this injury, unfortunate as it is for Florida State, really helps John Cooper. Stops the clock, saves the Buckeyes a timeout.
Let's check in with Jack Arute. Jack?
You know, Brent, you're talking about John Cooper. I think we saw a different kind of Cooper here at this bowl game. What he did is he actually closed practices. In the last 2 practices inside the Sugar Bowl, he had players actually changing jerseys, and he wanted to keep all the media out. He says, hey, you don't know, maybe a janitor is an FSU fan or somebody. But on the contrast on the other side of the ball, Bobby Bowden's been here before, so you know what he did? He didn't even have a curfew before 12:30 until last night. He made his guys come in right at midnight.
First down and 10, and Jermaine pulls it out. Bad pass. This could be 6 the other way. Shevin Smith Boston from behind at the 22-yard line. Seconds for the Noles to work with. Plenty of time.
Great pass rush by Sam Coward, number 1. Watch him come on the blitz, totally unblocked. Burris can't get out to him. That forces the jump ball pass by Joe Germain. Easy pickoff by Smith, and real good effort by David Boston as he chases Smith down from behind. Avoids that flying block.
If nothing else, it's going to cost them 3 points down here. There's 27 seconds. The Noles with 1 timeout. Busby's back in the shotgun. Miner is off to his left. 3 wide receivers. He looks toward Coles, who dropped it. Penalty flag is thrown in behind Coles, who simply dropped one at the 20-yard line. Plummer, the defender. You know, Mickey had been rushing 4, and he changes up that time and sends Coward. Bucks weren't ready.
On the defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You just can't give a rhythm thrower like Joe Germain the time to throw. The times that he's been off target tonight is when he's had that pass rush in his face.
You think about that North Carolina game when Florida State went up there on November 8th, and the Tar Heels, a winner today in their bowl game, they couldn't score a touchdown. They lost to these Noles 20-3 in that game. Miner goes out for Busby. There's an alley. Busby runs hard left, throws, caught, out of bounds at the 1-yard line is where that official is marking the ball. A 17-yard gain. Diggs finally able to save the touchdown as Travis Miner, slipping out of the backfield, made the reception, number 23 on the far side.
Now what happened on the play, Brent, is that Nell Diggs had his back to the quarterback. That allowed Busby to put it right over the head of number 32. 9 catches so far for Travis Miner as he's doing it as a receiver tonight.
Miner is in with the 2 fullbacks, Glenn and McCray. So they load up the power look. And they use the short man, McCray, for the touchdown. The freshman from Jacksonville. Big hurting put on by the Seminoles after that final interception, Dan.
And the offense does a great job of rewarding their defense for the turnover by turning it into 6 points and maybe 7.
Sebastian, I want you to listen. See how hard Sebastian Janikowski kicks this one. Didn't really whack it. Wait till the kickoff.
Thunderfoot. You know who he reminds me of?
There you are.
He reminds me of Morton Anderson a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know he does.
Left footer, big leg, Superdome, the whole bit. McCray gets his 2nd touchdown of the year, just a belly play right up the middle, right at number 45, Andy Katzenmoyer. Florida State shows a little power to go with their finesse game.
Hey, let's send you up to New York and check in with John Saunders, John.
All right, Brent, thanks a lot. Alongside Todd Blackledge. Well, these guys in the Sugar Bowl are dessert. The main course, though, was the best.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl was a great football game today. Second half by Michigan took control of the game.
They did indeed, and they have won a national championship. We'll talk about that, see how Nebraska and Tennessee feel about that. Stick around. It's all coming up. We'll also have sound from the locker room. Hail to the victors. Brent, back to you.
How do you like being referred to as dessert, Dan?
I don't know. When you're in New Orleans, there's some. That's a compliment, I guess.
So the Noles with 3 touchdowns in the first half. Busby, the E.G. Green, Winfield and Berry, Fan on the tackle. Then the second one was the quarterback draw. Busby taking it himself. And the third one, the young fullback, Gray, crashes across.
And those last 2 touchdowns, both were scored on 2-play drives for the big play Seminoles.
Busby doing well tonight. Here it comes. He whacks that one high and out of the end zone and come out on the 20-yard line. So the ball comes out to the 20-yard line here at the Louisiana Superdome. This is going to be a regular stop for the Seminoles.
It's a regular stop for their team, not so much for their fans, though. A lot of them decided to stay home and watch this, I guess, Brent.
Yeah.
Have deserted home.
A lot of Buckeye fans in town, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of scarlet and red around. Great fans travel down here. Disappointed right now, but who knows what's going to happen in the second half. They'll have to solve that front better than that, huh? Of course, we got a special coming up for you at halftime, and that's the Nokia Sugar Bowl $1 million toss. My partner, Dan Fauci, loosening up the collar, taking a tie down. Maybe he's going to be trying. But somebody's got a chance to win $1 million here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. And we'll get a chance to. There's the fella. He was loosening up last night, folks, on Bourbon Street. Hope that fella can see the target. We'll be right back to check in on Charles Woodward after these messages and a word from your ABC station. Happy New Year, Charles.
8,000 mutual funds. And everybody's looking for a winner. But chasing the latest hot fund won't get you anywhere. To pick a mutual fund, find out how they pick their stocks. At Janus, they pick stocks one at a time. They investigate companies like nobody else and invest in the most promising ones. That's how you get there. Janus No-Load Mutual Funds.
With formidable strength, a distinctly individual style, and the strongest V8 in its class, this is the most powerful Sierra in GMC's history. Sierra gives you the style to stand apart from the herd. And the power to pull it. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
Sunday, they hired a bum to pretend to be their principal.
There are no longer any rules at this school.
Yes. Now, traditional education...
X is gravity and Y is impact.
...is history.
Let's crank this puppy.
Join Hiller and Diller's Kevin Nealon.
Just call me Dr. V. I'm not going to Stanford. I'm going to prison.
And Home Improvement's Zachary Ty Bryan.
Expel them. Huh? I'm kidding.
Principal Takes a Holiday. ABC Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
Less commercials, more news for you. See what a difference time makes. 7 News at 10 with Natalie, Mitch, Tony, and Steve. Real life, real news.
On March 30th, 1994, television station KMGH was granted a license by the Federal Communications Commission to serve the public interest as a public trustee until April 1st, 1998. Our license will expire on April 1st, 1998. We have filed an application for license renewal with the FCC. A copy of this application is available for public inspection during our regular business hours. Our public file contains information concerning this station's performance during the last 5 years. Individuals who wish to advise the FCC of facts relating to our renewal application and to whether this station has operated in the public interest should file comments and petitions with the Commission by March 2nd, 1998. Further information concerning the Commission's broadcast license renewal process is available at KMGH, 123 Spear Boulevard, Denver, Colorado, 80203, or may be obtained from the FCC, Washington, D.C., 20554.
Watch CU take on Oklahoma Saturday at 2 on 7 News.
From the Nokia Sugar Bowl, Florida State with a 21-3 lead over Ohio State. It's time now for the Rogaine Bowl report, and we have a pretty good game in that one, but it's not often they come as advertised. Michigan against Washington State in the Rose Bowl. Michigan looking to win a national championship for the first time in half a century. They'd have to go through Ryan Leaf, though, to stop things, and though Ryan Leaf, his receivers let him down early.
Yeah, a little bit of a problem early, about 5 drop passes early on in the ball game. Little early game jitters, but they would get back in it. And sometimes when a quarterback throws it perfectly, you can't do anything but catch the ball. Here, 15 yards, Ryan Leaf to Kevin McKenzie for the first score of the ball game.
But Charles Woodson, he's the Heisman Trophy winner. Leaf finished third. Woodson showing today why.
Yeah, this was a critical interception. Washington State going in again from the 12-yard line. Could have made it 14-0. He challenged Woodson, and Woodson beat him.
Michigan challenging the defensive backs of Washington State. Brian Griese going deep to Ty Street's 53 yards, and it ties the game at 7 apiece. And then Washington State also running a little misdirection.
Yeah, one way to attack an aggressive defense, misdirection, run the reverse here. Nice job. Good execution by Washington State. Sean Timms, 13 yards for the touchdown.
Washington State at that point feeling they're in good shape behind this man, Ryan Leaf, but the extra point is blocked by James Hall, and that would prove critical later on in the game. Brian Griese and Ty Streets, you saw it once. They did it again in the second half, 58 yards this time.
Ryan Griese did a really nice job throwing the deep ball, and Ty Streets using that big body, creating separation. A couple big catches for the Wolverines. And then the patented play of Michigan all year, the fake bootleg, his favorite target, tight end Jeremy Tooman, 23 yards for the touchdown to put Michigan up 21-13.
Brian Griese also terrific on the final drive of the game.
Yeah, this was a critical drive. Shakes off one tackle up around the head and scrambles for 11 yards and a crucial first down.
Washington State, though, would have a chance. They threw one deep, and then with 2 seconds left, they try and spike the ball to stop the clock. Problem is the clock was already running. Time ticks away. Mike Price thought maybe one last shot, but it was over, and it was time for the Wolverines to celebrate. Charles Woodson and Brian Griese and the rest of the crew, they shut down the #2 offensive team in the nation. Washington State, their lowest output before this game, 24 points. This time just 16. Michigan, the first Big Ten team since 1968. Ohio State that year winning the national championship.
And Brian Griese, I thought he would be a key in the ball game today. He and Michael Black. Black went out early with the bruised leg, but Brian Griese showed up in a big way, was the Rose Bowl MVP. And look at what Michigan did in the second half. You see Griese's numbers, but 10 of 12 conversions on third down. They controlled the clock, and that final drive, the last possession they had, they didn't score any points, but they ran off nearly 7 minutes. They forced Washington State to use up all of their timeouts. They pooch punted it down inside the 10, left Ryan Leaf very little to work with when he got the ball.
Michigan breaks out the championship hats, and Lynn Swan on hand for Hail to the Victors.
I'm happy for this team, for these fans, for our university. It's an unbelievable feeling.
Brian, this is a long journey for you. You were a walk-on at the University of Michigan. You had a decision to make. You came back for a 5th year. Need I say it's worth it?
I couldn't have dreamed any better ending to my career here. I just feel so humble to be up here with all my players and for the fans. I'm just glad I came back and I could contribute.
Well, I take pride in that, trying to come out. This is the last game of the season. We had a chance for it all. And it just wasn't me out there today. It was a whole bunch of guys, a whole Michigan Wolverine team, and all the fans that made it down here to Pasadena. We did it, baby. We did it.
You embraced the pressure. You answered every challenge. You answered every question. You have left a wonderful legacy for every team that ever follows you. You just won the national championship.
Michigan has the win, and we've heard Scott Frost of Nebraska talk about this. He says much of the reason Michigan is #1 because Charles Woodson and all the hype around him in the Heisman. Woodson, though, certainly delivered today.
Yeah, Charles Woodson is the best player in college football, and you know, one of the problems that people said, it's hard to quantify what he does. And if you look at his numbers today, they're not very impressive. 3 punt returns for 18 yards, only 8 yards rushing, 1 catch for 7 yards. But you got to look beyond the numbers. He had the interception that killed a crucial scoring drive. One of his punt returns set up Michigan's first touchdown. In that last drive where they had to eat up some clock and gain some first downs, he pulled down a reverse pass. He wasn't open. He ran for a first down. His 1 catch converted the 3rd down in that last drive also. Charles Woodson, the bottom line. Every big game Michigan played, he was a major factor.
In 1994, Penn State, undefeated, wins the Rose Bowl, but they don't win the national championship. Nebraska gets that. Now, this year, it looks a big, very big irony here as this one gets completely turned around.
Yeah, it's eerily similar to 1994. And I remember when I was sitting in this very same seat 3 years ago, I said if both teams won as they did, that I would give the edge to Nebraska for 2 reasons. They played a tougher regular season schedule, more impressive through the regular season, and they had a better defense throughout the year. Same situation this year. I give the edge to Michigan for the same 2 reasons. Michigan, the best defense in the country, #1 in 3 of the top 4 categories, and 6 of the teams they played, 7 now, counting Washington State, were ranked at the time they played them. Michigan just was the better team throughout the season.
Plus, Washington State, as I mentioned before, 24 points, the fewest earlier this year against Oregon, 16 today against Michigan. All right, we'll be back with more scores and highlights, but right now, let's take you back to the Nokia Sugar Bowl and Brent Musburger.
John, thank you very much. A late touchdown pushes the Florida State lead over Ohio State to 21-3. Now entertaining the good folks at the Nokia Sugar Bowl is the great Ohio State Marching Band. Let's give a listen. John and Todd will be coming back with more when we continue with our Nokia Sugar Bowl coverage.
The 1998 Nokia Sugar Bowl. This ABC Sports presentation brought to you by Nokia Wireless Phones. Inspired technology with a human touch.
Hello, I'm Robert Urich, and I'd like to tell you about my alma mater. It's a place where the history of yesterday and the promise of tomorrow are inseparable. Through our windows, students can view the past and see the future. It's a place where the oldest buildings are renovated with the newest technologies, and students enjoy free access to the largest and most powerful electronic library ever known. It is the home of a partnership with a recognized world leader in distance learning, the British Open University, and a place that links our branch campuses in London, Florence, and Spain. Because our students are connected to learning, they understand the meaning of the historical inscription on our campus that reads, "The half of knowledge is to know where to find knowledge." See how students are finding it at Florida State University. Visit our website and click on the Connected to Learning icon. This is Florida State University. From here, everything is possible.
See where the real action is in a college football game? Well, look right here. The domain of the mighty coach. Oh, he's all over my guy. I want to see a popcorn trap on right. 50 yards of pacing room with a little left over to flail your arm. I sure you've been doing much flailing? He doesn't do much flailing. 79, I need a head nod or something. You're just leaving me over here standing. Hey, let's hustle up there. Let's get that going. Let's get that going a little bit. That's what I want to see.
Welcome to the 1998 Nokia Sugar Bowl. How did Nokia become a part of this great American tradition? It starts with our philosophy of connecting people. Nokia mobile phones brings millions of people together every day, and we hope this year's Nokia Sugar Bowl helps you connect with all the friends and family you love. On behalf of the 4,000 Nokia employees in the U.S. and the 36,000 worldwide, best wishes to you and yours this holiday season.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover Card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Continuing with the Rogaine Bowl report, we move to earlier today, Cop USA Florida Citrus Bowl, Florida and Penn State. Jacquez Green with a touchdown pass from Doug Johnson.
Yeah, Penn State did a pretty good job defending the pass, but they couldn't stop the run. Fred Taylor, 43 carries, 234 yards. 139 yards of total offense for Penn State, the lowest ever under Joe Paterno.
For Taylor, that's a Citrus Bowl record. UCLA against Texas A&M in the Cotton Bowl. What a second half of the season it's been for UCLA. Ryan Newfield runs this one from 5 yards out. Cade McNown also had a big day.
Yeah, Cade McNown throwing the football. Skip Hicks, 140 yards, running the football. The 10th win in a row for the Bruins.
North Carolina and Virginia Tech in the Gator Bowl. 42-3 the final. Chris Keldorf, 290 yards passing.
And great North Carolina defense again, 19 points off of 3 Virginia Tech turnovers.
And in the Outback Bowl, Wisconsin clobbered by Georgia, 33-6. Mike Bobo, 19 straight completions.
Yeah, for the day, 26 of 28, 235 yards and a touchdown. Also big days for Robert Edwards and Hines Ward.
Burger King Corporation and its National Franchise Association is proud to sponsor the 1997 Vincent Draddy Award, given to the nation's premier scholar athlete by the National Football Foundation and the College Football Hall of Fame. Recognized for his outstanding achievement in the classroom, on the field, and in the community, this year's winner is Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning, the 1997 Vincent Draddy Award winner.
Truly honored to win the Draddy Award and to stand here tonight. Thank all of you for supporting the great institution of college football. Thank you very much.
During the 97 season, Burger King Corporation and its National Franchise Association once again donated $1 million to colleges and universities across the nation. Right now, let's take you back to Brent Musburger, once again at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Brent, back to you.
All right, John, thank you. And here at halftime, 21-3, Florida State with the lead. And now it is the Seminole Marching Band on the floor here of the Nokia Sugar Bowl. So let's give a listen. Here in New Orleans, enjoying both of these outstanding bands. Coming up, folks, the Nokia $1 Million Toss as we continue.
Vacation travelers know that when it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go, National Car Rental. Especially if you're going on a Walt Disney World vacation. Because as the official car rental company of Walt Disney World, National gets you in your car and on the road fast. For a family vacation you'll never forget. So what are you waiting for? Let's go to Walt Disney World with National Car Rental.
Ohio State is one of my dearest memories.
It's an honor to be a part of this great university.
I love the people. I think that is the most important part of Ohio State University. It was too good to be true, the experience I had here.
I make my living teaching undergraduates. It's my passion, and I love it.
I may be graduating today, but I'll always be a Buckeye.
Will surely show how firm my friendship.
My 4 years at Ole Miss and my 4 years of college football were 4 of the greatest years of my life.
I wanted to be a college football player. I wanted to have that experience, and so I worked hard from that point on, trying to achieve that goal.
I didn't ever tell my sons they were going to play football, ask them to play. If they really liked it, I wanted them to play.
For me, college football just brings a great deal of happiness.
I think college football shaped my life.
This message provided by the NCAA.
The national title is on the line. We know Michigan has won, beating Washington State in the Rose Bowl. How about if Nebraska knocks off Tennessee? You decide. Vote now on America Online, keyword ABC Sports. Right now it's time for the Nokia Pass. Let's take you back to Brent Musburger. Brent.
Here at halftime, Florida State leading Ohio State 21-3. And now something special. It is time for the Nokia Sugar Bowl $1 million toss. Now, let me show you how it works. Our contestant is going to have 30 seconds to complete the first three. From 4 yards, it's worth $5,000. From 6 yards, $10,000 more. And then from 8 yards, $25,000. And finally, if he makes those, we'll back him up and let him go for $1 million. Let's send you down to Jack Arute to meet our contestant. Jack?
Well, our high school guidance counselor from Tennessee, Charles Looper, is ready to make the attempts at the Nokia $1 million toss. Charles, first up is $5,000, and you did pretty well yesterday.
Not too bad. But right now, I'm probably so nervous I couldn't hit my butt with a baseball bat.
Well, let's see how you hit him. Let's go. And I'll tell you what, folks, we've got a countdown clock, and we'll give him the mark. Ready? Are we ready here? Ready, set, go. And look at that.
Oh, he's got 15 more seconds for the $25,000, and he's got it.
And he threw them all overhand. The day before, he threw them underhand.
Now he's going to go over and get a shot at $1 million. The time clock's been turned off. Jack Arute, this is not impossible, my friend, is it? You were down there yesterday.
This is not impossible at all. In fact, Charles, if you look at the big screen, Dan Fouts, Hall of Fame quarterback, came yesterday, tried this $1 million toss. Not too shabby, huh?
You still got it, kid.
One throw left.
Well, this is it. Here's the official Sugar Bowl, Nokia Sugar Bowl Bowl. $1 million. It's all yours, Charles.
Oh, but he still pockets $40,000. Pretty good work for Charles. Let's take another look at this. This is 11 by 11, folks. You with the sharp eyes may have noticed this target's just a little bit smaller.
And when you're throwing it with a little bit of a Billy Kilmer wobble there, that 11 inches tightens up in a big hurry. Great effort, though, Charles.
A very special check presentation for you now, Charles, by Matt Wist, the Vice President of Marketing for Nokia. And, Matt, $40,000, that's a pretty good payday.
I'll take that home any day. That's a great effort, Charles.
Congratulations. Charles, you came so close, but it wasn't close enough.
That's okay. It's been worth it. It's great. Nokia has been great. I've enjoyed the trip. And thanks to Matt, to all of Nokia, it's been great.
Let's go back upstairs.
Jack, thank you very much. Charles, you were wrong. You could hit your butt with a baseball bat. So we're going to return with the second half of the 1998 Nokia Sugar Bowl after this message and a word from your ABC station.
They were really growing up fast. Too fast. All Kelly talked about was going to high school, and all I could think about was paying for college. Sure, I played around with a few mutual funds, but I was no expert. So I started talking to someone who could help, a broker at Dean Witter.
We must plan for our client's future as if it were our own.
Funny, kids think their parents always have the right answers. I'm just making sure I do.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
Good evening, I'm Mitch Jelniker.
And I'm Natalie Pujol. Coming up after the game, a fatal accident on I-70 today. Road rage could be to blame.
And we're learning more about the skiing accident that killed Michael Kennedy.
In weather, 50s and 60s on this first day of 1998, but changes to the west. We'll talk about it tonight in weather.
In sports, Tony's in Kansas City, plus we're going bowling, including the game that would decide the national championship.
We'll see you right after the game.
Close up on Molly. A mom about to dive headfirst into the dating pool and wondering if she could still swim. Tonight, her teenage daughter would be the one waiting up till 1 a.m. This cracked Molly up, and she realized she still had a life of her own, with millions of great future memories waiting for her out there in the deep end. And all she had to do was jump in. She felt like a teenager again, only with a nicer car.
Information flows.
The story this afternoon.
It connects people and adapts to change. At the New York Stock Exchange, the world economy is shaped by a continuous flow of information. And Bain Networks is the computer network that keeps billions of transactions moving smoothly. Because when you control the flow of information, you control the flow of business. Bain Networks, where information flows.
Look, now, this is a very important...
Now you can enjoy the same great clarity of your office phone.
Good idea. I can get her on the line, too.
The same convenient features like call waiting.
Hold on. Got somebody on the other line.
And caller ID.
Oh, sure.
With new access to advanced PCS from US West.
I need someone to take a letter. Now.
It works so much like your office phone.
I don't like it.
You may forget you're not in your office.
Sorry.
To order Access 2, simply call 1-800-ACCESS-2. From US West. Life's better here.
Watch CU take on Oklahoma Saturday at 2 on 7 News.
And here's the half. The Nokia Sugar Bowl, 21-3, Florida State with a lead over Ohio State. Dan Fouts, we started the evening by revealing the game plan for the Buckeyes. They were going to rotate quarterbacks, all of Steve Spurrier. You've got a strong feeling not working too well, and you've got an idea what they might try in the second half.
Well, they have not been able to run the ball except for Stanley Jackson. Jackson's been the more effective passer as well. Jermaine has thrown 2 interceptions, both times under heavy pass rush from Florida State. I say forget the quarterback thing with Jermaine and Jackson. Stick with Jackson. He's your best chance.
You know, early in this ball game, the Buckeyes had some chances, and of course they came away with the interceptions. They picked Thad Busby a couple times in the early going. We can take a look at these INTs now and show you how they turned around.
And the difference when Thad Busby threw interceptions, he didn't have the pressure in his face. He just made poor decisions. That was an overthrow that Damon Moore picked off easily. That was great coverage by Ahmed Flemmer. But now watch the pressure on Jermaine as he puts that one up for grabs for Dexter Jackson. And then he gets hit right in the face as Shevin Smith steps in front and sets up the nose deep in Ohio State territory. So big difference there. Jermaine, is, when he's had time to throw, has been effective, but not a lot of people get time to throw against the Seminoles.
You know, I have felt all year, Dad, that one of the great games in college football would have been Nebraska against Florida State. We have seen both the Cornhuskers and the Seminoles now, and there's so much speed on both of these defenses. I know that Michigan won an awful lot of defensive categories. I don't want to take a thing away from the Wolverines. They deserve to be the national champions. But I'm here to tell you that the speed on the defenses at Nebraska and Florida State would give them a workout.
But I think that the problem that the only negative I see in Nebraska is in their secondary. They've had trouble stopping the forward pass, and that's where I think Michigan, and when you look at the great job that Brian Griese did today, I was really impressed with the way he threw the long ball, and he bounced back from that opening interception in the first quarter.
Yeah, well, here's our numbers now, our Nokia first half statistics. 21-3, of course, the most important numbers. And you can see that the Seminoles have passed for 230 and total yards 280 to 158 and 3 sacks for the Noles. Jack Arute, I know you have spoken to the coaches down on the field. What's their feeling here, partner?
Well, Brent, all Bobby Bowden wanted to talk about was the penalties. He's livid about the sloppy play of the Florida State Seminoles. But on the other side of the ball, John Cooper is going to make some changes in the second half, and I think they fit in with your criticism, Dan. One of the things he says, we've got to stop Wadsworth, got to have better play from the offensive line. He says, but I think we're going to scrap that shuttle of the quarterback a little bit. Look for more of the leader, Stanley Jackson, in the second half for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
All right, Jack, the Bucks will get it to start the second half. And you can see Jackson, helmet on, and their numbers from the first half here.
Well, this number at the bottom, though, that minus 10 yards by Pepe Pearson, that's the biggest problem.
Jankowski pumps another one. Riley says, let's just take it out on the 20-yard line, and let's see what the Bucks are able to come up with here.
I never knew I had to be quiet before a kicker kicked off the ball so you could hear the thunder thump.
I'm getting ready for the World Cup. You know, I like to watch these soccer guys.
You know, I talked to Janikowski before practice the other day, and I said, well, who helped you the most with learning how to kick a football? He said the biggest thing he had to overcome was the fact that the soccer ball and the football are different shapes.
So here we go. Man, what an astute young man he is. Jackson hands it off, and there's Pearson with his best run of the game. Powering on out to the 26-yard line. Here's your defensive leaders from the Seminoles in the first half, and they had a lot of them, let me tell you. That doesn't reflect the pressure that some of those fellows were bringing up front, too. And the one is number 85, big fella at left defensive end. Angle, out an extra yard. Coward steps up between him and the tackle, and they run Pepe Pearson again. If they spot it, it'll be enough for a first down. But do I see another yellow flag down there, Dan?
No, they did spot it, though, across the 30-yard line, Brent. And that's a great start for Ohio State. You can almost get a feeling that perhaps John Cooper really might have laid into his ball club and said, hey, listen, let's get back to Ohio State football. Let's give the ball to the tailback behind the fullback, and let's run right at Florida State.
Pretty aggressive on those two plays, and an injured Seminole, so it's a positive start here for the second half. Pittman is down, number 95.
And the positive thing for Pepe Pearson is he now has 0 yards rushing on 8 carries. Here's Pittman, number 95. Check out his injury here. Not sure what that injury was, but I'm sure that he'll be all right.
Lumpkin comes in Buckeye sideline along. Boston's ready to. Try Pepe again on that isolation play. Without Bush in there, the Buckeyes might have found something. That is close to another 10-yard gain that time on first down.
That's a good point, Brent, because Bush is the second leading tackler for Florida State with 97 on the year. He went out early in the first quarter, but this is 3 straight isolation plays for John Cooper and the Buckeyes.
Well, Mickey will have to change his alignment defensively with them featuring the ISO play. The fullback Keller right straight ahead. Breaks it across midfield. This is Buckeye football.
Remember, Rob Murphy is done for the day, too. Watch the left side here as they give the ball to the fullback, Keller. 4 rushes now for 32 yards for Ohio State. And positive yards as Keller bounces off the safety and falls across midfield.
NFL coaches have known for years against a great defensive line, you try to run right at them. Don't let them start coming upfield on you. And the Buckeyes are trying to keep it going. Don't get off the run. Here comes Pepe again. Just keep pounding. That's what you got to do against great rushmen. It's been the formula in football games forever, and it's not going to end.
And watch this time. Ohio State's going to send the fullback this way, and they're going to give the ball to Pearson. Kind of a little misdirection now when you've been pounding them straight ahead. You want to give them a different look. Not as many yards that time as Lamont Green, number 45, makes the play.
That time Wadsworth got caught up on the garbage. He was trying to pressure in from outside. Here comes second down, and let's see if the Buckeyes put up their first pass of the second half. Going to keep it right there with Pepe and nothing doing. He was jumped. And now they're almost forced to pass unless Stanley Jackson can break one running. So D. Miller will replace Rambo and bring the play in from the Buckeye sideline.
It's taken a long time to get this play in.
Too long.
It takes a long time sometimes when you're down by 18 and you got a 3rd and 8.
Lumpkin going to get set down there on the Wadsworth side. Then put the tight end over there. Give Jackson the shotgun. He's going to run out of it. And they were ready. Smith, the safety, jumps the play and a penalty flag down at the 43-yard line.
Defense.
Big mistake.
It certainly can be. As Shevin Smith, number 30, looked like he just crossed into that neutral zone. Good job by Stanley Jackson with the hard count. 8 penalties now against Florida State, but that's kind of their norm. They average 10 per game.
So they need just over 3 yards. That makes it a little bit different. They'll move Stanley up under center. The Knowles across the scrimmage line. They're going to run Pearson slanting. And he got the first down for the Buckeyes. Good looking play against that defensive front.
Pearson, a very determined runner here in the second half. Had to be embarrassed by the lack of production the Buckeyes had in the first half. As he gets inside Burris and picks up that first down by himself primarily. He's got 6 carries so far here in the second half.
Opening drive, second half. Buckeyes drive to the 37. Johnson back into the defensive line. Pearson goes right at him.
You know,
about a yard.
In the first half, most of the running plays for Ohio State were draw plays or trap plays, trying to bring Wadsworth up the field and then run inside him either by Stanley Jackson or by Pearson. They've just decided to heck with those draw plays and trap plays. We're just going to come right at you with Pearson behind Matt Keller and try to negate some of that team speed and quickness of Florida State.
Double tight end, Wisniewski with Lumpkin for the Bucks. Pepe gets a call, slides across the 35 to the 34-yard line, but this is going to be 3rd and long coming up. Here's a big play for the Bucks. Wadsworth coming down the line. Jacobs making the call upstairs, and he needs one here.
And what he's looking at is a nickel coverage coming in for Florida State as they bring in extra defensive backs.
Samari Roll forced out because of an injury in that first half, and so Saunders has been over at that corner, left side of the defense. The freshman's on the right side. Jackson, Howard's picked up on the blitz, fires complete to D. Miller. Great pass, a pressure from.
Absolutely, Brent. Pressure was coming on Jackson. He's a little bit quicker than Joe Germain setting up. And he feels Bryant from the blind side and throws a great pass to pick up a first down. That's the first pass in the second half. 9 runs prior to this one.
Buckeyes drive inside the 25-yard line. Keller and Pearson. Jackson starts Lumpkin as an H-back. Power to the left, and they'll run short side away, and Pearson's cut off. Number 95 comes on over, Julian Pittman.
And here is Pittman, number 95. He does a great job of taking the inside. Actually, he's looped to the outside.
They looped him with Wadsworth that time, Dan.
That was excellent. 95 and 85 confused me.
Jackson with a penalty flag flying, going to throw the ball into the end zone. Whistle dead.
Dead ball. False start. Offense.
That mistake hurts.
See who flinched there. It looked like it was the right tackle, Eric Goldstein, but who can blame him? He's been staring at number 85 all evening.
This is going to make it 2nd down and 16. 8:47 to go in the 3rd.
I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see Jackson on some type of either rollout or quarterback draw here.
the short side, Boston to the wide side of the field. Penny is the fullback, and they run Pearson straight up the middle. Inside the 25-yard line. That's just about the original line of scrimmage.
Boy, was there a heck of a collision at the end of this play. It's a draw play to Pepe Pearson. And watch the collision. As he puts his head down, Shevin Smith comes in. Todd Pryor, number 35, with the big hit.
Lumpkin gets down opposite Wadsworth. Toss play is to Pearson. Slant left side. Holds there. Pepe in a foot race to the 17-yard line. Short of the first down. And the field goal unit comes trotting onto the field. It'll be Stultz.
Boy, another big hit, and this time there are two Florida State Seminoles that aren't getting up. It's been a long, impressive, ground-dominated drive by Ohio State.
And
taking their toll on the Noles.
I think there should have been a face mask at the end of that play, too. Let's take a break here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl, and we'll come right back.
In 1993, we changed everything. Dodge became the new Dodge, and the new Dodge became Intrepid. Now we're changing the way cars are created. Today's new Intrepid is the world's first car designed, assembled, and proven on computers, enabling a degree of precision never before possible. Welcome to the world of the new Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything. Again.
How fast do I really have to be going before I get a ticket?
The law's the law.
What is it, 5-10 miles over?
Deli-style Lays. Ooh. Well, it's a guessing game out there, Mike. Here, let me show you something.
72?
Yep.
Let me see that. 90. Hey, you're fast.
Quit crunching your lunch. New Lay's Deli Style.
Every year I try to quit smoking cold turkey, but this year is my year. I'm committed. I'm psyched. And I have help, Nicorette gum, to help control my cravings. It's not like the patch. Nicorette lets me decide how much nicotine to use and when to use it, so I can stop smoking now. The idea is, by this time next year, to save enough money by not smoking, to be not smoking in Cancun.
Nicorette gum helps you fight your cravings, your habit, your way. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
This Monday, the practice moves to Mondays. Want to come along?
Yeah, and Dan, I think if they call this face mask, Coach, that's a first down. What'd you think about this?
I think Sam Cowart, number 1, that's the face mask right there. Now watch the hit there between Tay Cody and Dexter Jackson. Luckily for the Seminoles, both of them got up and apparently are going to be all right.
And they get a break now because Stultz will attempt a field goal. Bartholomew is going to put this down on the 25-yard line. So this is going to be a 35-yard attempt. Buckeyes need this one down 21-3. They've given up 21 unanswered points. And Stultz snaps that. 21-6. Now the Buckeyes need to come up with a little defense here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl and try to keep things going with Stanley Jackson. We'll be right back.
Thus saith the Lord, with the raging flood,
We just want the money!
he makes an end of those who oppose him,
$3 million.
and he pursues his enemies into darkness. On January 16th, prepare for Hard Rain. Hard Rain, rated R.
Starts Friday, January 16th in theaters everywhere.
You're so lucky. Not one gray hair.
When a woman can run her fingers through your hair and can't tell you blend away your gray, that's a natural-looking result. And that's just what you get with a hair color called Just for Men. Its unique formula blends away gray. Shampoo in, then rinse, all in 5 easy minutes. And it matches your gray to your natural color, so nobody knows, even close up.
I just love your hair.
Just for men. It looks so natural, even she can't tell.
Before we built one part for the new Dodge Intrepid, we built the whole car digitally. That way, we were able to test more than 2,000 engines, numerous suspensions, a multitude of seats, and a vast number of headlamps. The result is impressive. You might say it's 1 in a million. The new Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything. Again.
We're like Thelma and Louise.
The girls' road trip to Womanfest.
And Kate.
Nobody's afraid of being stared at or judged. Oh my God, look at those freaks.
And all new Ellen, ABC Wednesday.
ABC Sports presentation of the 1998 Nokia Sugar Bowl is brought to you by the NASDAQ stock market, shaping the new world of investing. Hope that next year shapes up as a good a year for investors as this year was. A lot of folks enjoying their riches out there on Bourbon Street over the weekend. Still pounds of kickoff. And Springer thinks better of it because Feaster tells him not to come out, and that was a wise decision. And now, time for the big cat to make his presence felt here.
It's been difficult for him. Only 1 tackle so far for the Buckeyes.
Thad Busby trots onto the field to start the second half for the Noles. Minor, then his running back. The freshman's gone all the way at that tailback spot. Warwick, E.G. Green, both out to the wide to the right side of the field. Pearsall, the tight end. They open with Glenn at fullback. They run the toss with Minor. Not much doing there. Number 95 was coming hard, and that's Jimmy Bell. Brought down by number 95, Jimmy Bell. Now you wonder about 21-6 settling in and getting a little conservative, trying to get back in the rhythm after the long intermission at a bowl game. It's amazing sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't think Bobby Bowden's going to get conservative, although Travis Minor's out of the game.
And Feaster replaces him. Inside handoff to Feaster, cuts back, slips a tackle before Damon Moore brings him down at that 34-yard line for a first down. The Bowden family, quite a collection of coaches, huh, Jack Arute?
Yeah, indeed there are. You've got Jeff working with his daddy. You got Terry working at Auburn, and Tommy taking over the Tulane Green Wave. What's it like to be the son of a coaching icon and have to compete against him, Tommy?
He's come over here chasing my players, that dirty rat. Him and Terry both.
We'll ask him another question after this play.
Okay. I love Tommy's great. Gets a handoff down to Feaster again, and nothing doing on the first down. Jack?
Tommy, what's the biggest thing you learned from your dad, though, in terms of coaching?
Well, I tell you, really patience and perseverance, because coming to a program like Tulane was the last few years, I kind of learned how to do it because it was a similar situation what he had at Florida State 20 years ago.
Tell you, Brent, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, and his brother will be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll tell you what he can do is go get Papa's second stringers. Bring them in here to Tulane, and they'd be plenty good enough. When you think about this defense, just think of who they play. Probably their best opponent on the board is their own team. Great play fake, and Berry doesn't buy it. What a play by Berry that time. Busby with a fine fake, but number 1 said,
They've been crowding the line of scrimmage with both Berry and Damon Moore. This is really a fine athletic play. Right side of the screen. Berry doesn't buy that fake. He gets up in the air and bats the ball right back to Busby.
And that puts him in 3rd and long. So a shotgun look now for Busby. Pressure. Down he goes, the big cat, number 45. His presence is finally recognized in New Orleans.
And would you believe it? It's only his 2nd sack of the entire year after picking up 11 last year. But he is an impact player. He got close to Busby on the play before, and this time he's not going to let number 12 get away.
So the Buckeye defense forcing a Seminole punt. Boston will try to give them some field position and see if they can come right back down here. They've already scored with a field goal. Took the high snap, got it off. Boston fair catch, 36-yard line. The Butkus Award winner, number 45 from Westerville, Ohio. Still only a sophomore, and we'll be right back.
The new Dodge wanted to take the sport utility concept to a higher level. Enter the new Durango. Its best-in-class power, cargo space, and seating for up to 8 raise the bar considerably, as do its strongest-in-class frame and its stable, longer, wider stance. Dodge Durango, a higher form of sport utility, from top to bottom. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
I'm a numbers guy. Don't give me words. Give me a number. One day, Upjohn invites me to help test the new Rogaine. I hated losing my hair. I said yes. They tell me this new Rogaine Extra Strength for men is more concentrated. It gets more to the root to grow more hair. Don't give me the more. Give me the number. Yeah, I am seeing hair, but give me the number. They give us the number. 45% more hair than with original Rogaine. 45% more hair with the new Rogaine. I say, give me the Rogaine.
A company most people never heard of is changing the way we fight cancer and kidney failure. By inducing the body to produce blood cells, chemotherapy and anemia patients are gaining new strength. Helping to grow blood cells helped Amgen become the world's largest biotech company. Where do you learn about companies with such pioneering spirit? NASDAQ. Shaping the new world of investing.
ABC Sports presentation of the 1998 Nokia Sugar Bowl, brought to you by Nokia Wireless Phones. Inspired technology with a human touch. The new Dodge, it's about change. Paramount Pictures, Hard Rain. And Lay's, make your lunch special with Lay's. Seminoles are trying to make their stay in New Orleans something special. Up 21-6. Buckeyes scored with the last series, running that ISO play along with Pepe Pearson. Pounding away. And Pepe again, running out to the 45-yard line like a man possessed. When you talk about senior running backs and you talk to scouts around the NFL, they will say that this young man has a future on Sunday. Good blitz protector, runs hard, and they got to be impressed with what they're watching right now. And another Knoll is down, Dan.
And this is twice that Tay Cody has not been able to get up after a big hit on Pepe Pearson. So the body count is starting to increase for Florida State. And again, this is another defensive back. Remember, Samari Rolle got hurt in the first half, hurt the bottom of his foot. He's out for the rest of the night. Doesn't look good for Tay Cody right now. Another determined run by Pepe Pearson. Cody's number 27. He comes in helmet to helmet. That's always a scary sight when players hit head-to-head like that.
You know, Dan, that means that both corners for the Seminole defense have been knocked out of the game. Now, Rolle has not returned. We'll see if he does. And it's nice to see that freshman is up. Young man from Georgia. Got away from the Bulldogs. They had a renaissance comeback this year, huh? Thomas, another freshman, will check in at the corner. He's out of Miami. There he is, number 41. Seymour in at defensive end. The fullback, Keller, right straight ahead. Smith, the safety, makes the stop, along with Coward. And Cody quickly returns.
Shows you how tough Tay Cody is. 5'11", 180 pounds, and that was a vicious hit, helmet to helmet with Pepe Pearson.
So he'll line up at that corner. Saunders has replaced Rolle. Smith stays in at safety, and Jackson, of course, is the free safety. He has an interception. Toss down. Pepe looks alley-wise, crosses midfield, and across the 40-yard line, all the way to the 37. And the Buckeye fans who have traveled to New Orleans are coming alive.
Now, Woody Hayes would be real proud of his Buckeyes tonight, especially in the second half. 16 yards that time for Pearson. Left side, Lumpkin gets a good seal block. And again, Matt Keller's out in front, kicking out the contain man. And Pearson is just getting every carry and loving every one of them. Not a bad half.
Rambo brings the play in, and he's the slot receiver. But they keep it right in Pepe Pearson's hands, and he is pounding away at the middle of that Florida State defense. They miss number 44, that middle linebacker, Darrell Bush. They simply are not stopping the Buckeyes now at the point of attack. So he's without his starting middle linebacker. He's without his starting left cornerback, and he's trying to hold up. But he does enjoy a 21-6 advantage. Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator.
And what Mickey's got to worry about now is the play-action pass. Jackson faking to Pearson and putting it up to one of his fine wideouts.
Pearson. That time, number 45, Lamont Green. Junior linebacker from Miami stepped into the hole and made the stop.
There are times when Ohio State tries to stretch the defense with these almost draw play-like handoffs that they just take too much time. And the quickness of Florida State just takes over there. They're much more effective when they go straight ahead with the lead block and a quicker handoff.
Todd Fryer, the nickel man, comes in, and they put the pass rusher, Tony Bryant, also in the game. So Andrews substitutes 4 defensive players. He gets 2 fresh rushmen in the game. And on third down, Jackson complete to Rambo, the freshman, but that is short of a first down.
Short by about 2.5 yards, and John Cooper's going to have to make a decision on 4th down, and he's already made it.
So Stoltz jogs back onto the field. Strong leg. Remember, the Buckeyes faked 1 field goal in the first half, but the touchdown was called back. Illegal participation when Lumpkin, who caught the ball for a touchdown, did not come inside the hash. This is going to be a 46-yarder for Stoltz. He represents the only points for the Buckeyes. Pull this one to the left. And too far. Ball goes over to the Seminoles. So Pepe Pearson working hard this half, but the Buckeyes could not cash in. Right off his foot. He was hooking this one. We'll be right back to the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, we'll keep you connected. Wireless technology with a human touch. Nokia, connecting people.
How long does it take to turn the new Dodge Durango from the sport utility with the most passenger room in its class into the one with the most cargo room? Not long enough. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
Welcome back to the Nokia Sugar Bowl, the Big Easy, New Orleans. With Dan Fouts and Jack LaRoute, I'm Brent Musburger. Happy New Year, everybody. Certainly it's been a happy one for the Seminoles so far. Buckeyes struggling a bit. You wonder with Jermaine on the telephone if he's going to come in on that next series. He's the quarterback next year when the season opens, no doubt for the Bucks. Busby now with Minor back in the game. Play fake to him. Goes long down the sideline. Plummer couldn't cover the man, but a penalty flag comes down. Warwick makes the catch anyway.
Did Warwick push off on Plummer?
Yes, he did. Buckeyes are celebrating over there. Offensive interference.
He had his hands all over Plummer. Busby with the play fake is just going to throw this as far as he can for his big playmaker, Peter Warrick. Good coverage by Plummer. There's the push. There's the catch, and there's the flag.
Not much, huh?
Just enough.
I don't know. I see a lot of contact with receivers and DBs now, right?
You got to call that.
Do you?
Yeah, it makes it for a much more interesting ball game.
Now you're thinking, Patsy. Now you got the game plan.
It took me a while, partner. 44-yarder wiped out, huh?
Keep us alive with 130. Warrick not happy about that. I'll stand up for you, number 9. Don't worry. So Stringer replaces him.
The ironic thing is I don't think Warrick had to push off or grab him at all because Plummer never looked back for the ball. He had no idea where the ball was.
The ball is brought all the way back to the 15-yard line. They'll make it 1st and 24 for the Noles. Here's Busby in trouble now, rolling back in the end zone. And did he step out? The safety. He did step out, no question. A safety, and the Buckeyes are going to get the ball right back.
Two guys made a great play on this one, Brett. Number 45 is Katzenmoyer. Watch him. He reads the fake, sees that it's going to be a screen pass to Minor, and then big Winfield Garnett chases Busby out of the end zone by a toenail. Give big Winfield 2 points.
And with 1:13 to go in the third, the Buckeyes are going to get the football back. So they dominate the third quarter. The big cat starts prowling a little bit. Must be a night linebacker.
That was just a great play. The fake was trying to hold him as they faked the draw play to Minor. And Katzenmoyer read the screen, gave Busby no place to throw the ball, and let big old Garnett chase the quarterback out of the end zone.
So one of the big plays in this game now is that offensive pass interference on Peter Warrick.
44-yard gain wiped out. Next play, the safety. This is as close as it's going to get for a safety right there. Out of bounds. Well, Ohio State's defense has stepped up, Brett.
Now we get to watch my man, Danica.
Yeah, most teams use the punter in this
Look at this.
situation.
They're going to let him kick it off from the 20-yard line. That's how golden this leg is. Did you hear that crack, my friend? Bryce Wiley inside the 10-yard line on one bounce. Sprints to the 22-yard line. What do you got?
72 yards. For Sebastian Janikowski.
Don't you ever go back to soccer, young man. My friend Dick Vermeil may need you in a few years.
Boy, check out the play selection after halftime. Only 2 passes for Mike Jacobs and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Well, let's see what the Bucks can do now. It's been a soft middle. Florida State needs to toughen up on the inside. They've got to stop Pepe Pearson. He's dominated them here in the third quarter. They step a linebacker up. Put a 5-man front. And that time they wail away. After about a yard, Sam Cowart was there. So now it'll be up to the Buckeye coaches to quickly readjust as Mickey Andrews changes his defensive front, and he starts pressing with more linebacking muscle, stepping into the hole against Cooper's offense. You can watch at home, see how many men they step up now. They pull Cowart off a little bit. They expect the Bucks to pass. They don't disappoint, and under fires all over Jackson. Buried him at the 9-yard line. Oh, Greg Spires, the senior from Fort Myers, was all over the quarterback.
And Stanley Jackson's got to be wondering, where did he come from? Because he's a down lineman. Number 90 here, totally unblocked. Are you kidding me? Get out the playbook and show those offensive linemen you got to block the big guys.
3rd down and 9. If ever Ohio State needed a play, here it is. Shotgun look for Jackson. Keller and Pearson in the backfield. Timeout, Jackson. The clock coming down, and he's forced to use a timeout. So he'll trot on over to the Buckeye sideline. His last game as a quarterback for Ohio State. John Cooper will turn it over to Joe Germain. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, you may wonder, why is Stanley Jackson playing as much? We told you that John Cooper wanted to have him in there. But consider this fact, guys. You know, he is one of the captains of this team. And Dan Fouts, as you know, a leader really can rally the troops. And they seem to think that that's what Stanley Jackson can do. So far, he has produced. You can see the way he holds everybody together and also the way he tries to motivate everybody, especially like after that last play when a block was missed. He got up and he talked to the player and he said, hey, look, we got to do a better job. That's leadership. That's what Cooper wants right now with the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, something else, Jack. When Germain is in, as he was in the Rose Bowl, and he led that drive, remember, he had blockers like Orlando Pace on that offensive line. If the offensive line is not going to give you any more time than the Buckeyes do tonight, you need more mobility back there at that quarterback spot. Jackson can turn it loose and get downfield. I think Dan Fouts pointed that out at halftime. You give Joe Germain, though, a good offensive line and a strong look downfield, and he can terrorize the secondary.
Yeah, we haven't seen the last of Joe Germain. You see the chin strap buckled up. But this is Stanley Jackson's last game as a Buckeye. That means a lot.
Let's see if he can come up with a big play, Dan. 3rd down. Back now in that shotgun look. Keller right to his left. Jackson sprints left. Now fire. Oh, and Wadsworth has got it at the 22. Big Andre Wadsworth. Along with muscle, he's also got finesse, and he can catch the football.
Stanley Jackson trying to make a big play. Here is Wadsworth. Jackson goes back to pass, and he's going to get chased out of the pocket. Then he's going to see if we freeze it right here. This is David Boston over the middle. That's where he's trying to go with the ball. There is Wadsworth. That's as good a play as you'll ever see a defensive lineman make.
His first interception ever as a Seminole, but remember, as a high school player, he was a tight end. And he battles to keep that ball alive. And now Busby and the Noles looking to strike from the 22 in the shotgun. 3 wideouts go downfield. Bobby Bowden says, let's get it in a hurry. Throws underneath and almost back into Buckeye hands. Berry just ran past it a little bit, covering Warwick on that far side.
Jackson talking to Mike Jacobs upstairs saying, Coach, just trying to make a play there. Now what they're on to, that is gone. Can't do anything about that play. Let's worry about the next series.
Now the heat is on the Buckeye defense. McClellan comes in, the nickel man. 3 wideouts. Coles is to the short side. Now Minor gives him 4 wideouts. Dump to the middle, Green incomplete. Berry with great defense in the middle.
This is a great game by Gary Berry. I talked to Fred Puggett, the defensive coordinator for the Buckeyes before the game, and he said his main concern is how does Gary Berry hold up in pass coverage against the slot receiver.
Is there a penalty flag?
Certainly was a late one,
yeah, Brent. Late flag.
Dead ball.
Yeah.
Personal foul.
You bet.
Offense.
Oh.
Dead ball.
Hiller.
Personal foul.
Oh, wait.
Defense.
Okay.
Offsetting penalty. Repeat the down.
That works against you when they say repeat that down.
Busby 0 for 3 here in the second half and has been sacked twice. One of those sacks went for a safety.
You know, I didn't happen to see anything. what happened down on the field. And there's Wadsworth talking
You know,
upstairs.
you make an interception, you get to talk upstairs.
Here's third down and 10 for the Noles. Busby under pressure, going to take it off. Not going to get there. McClellan, the nickelback, forces him out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Field goal time for you-know-who. So when we come back with the fourth quarter, Bobby Bowden's team will be attempting to get 3 points back. And we will continue with the fourth quarter after these messages and a word from your ABC stations.
For 27 years, I've been peanuts, see? So my pal Tony says, this Coors Light, they frost fluid, right? It's icy cold. So I says, I thought everyone drinks it because of all the peanuts I toss. See, I could hit a guy 8 rows up just by hearing the sound of his voice. It was my thing. But with Coors Light, I don't need a thing. Except maybe a towel. Coors Light! Coors Light!
Tonight's topic, Free Friday. Yeah. Sir, you played a critical role in the creation of the new Burger King fries that are being given away this Friday?
That's right, Bill. Free Friday.
Amazing. Now this.
The crispy new Burger King fries beat McDonald's fries in a nationwide taste test. Stop in Friday, January 2nd for a free small order.
Welcome back. Why give them away?
It's giving something back. I started from the ground up.
Literally.
They had a happy life until 3 teenagers decided to play a terrifying game.
The juvenile.
Rob Lowe.
I can't let this go.
Outrage, ABC Sunday.
Good evening. I'm Natalie Peugeot.
And I'm Mitch Jelniker. Michael Kennedy was reportedly playing football on skis when he hit a tree and died. The latest live from Aspen at 10.
And we'll ring in the new year with the Polar Bear Club.
Nearly 70 degrees today in Wheat Ridge, but you know that can't last. Lots of clouds to the west. We'll talk about if they bring snow coming up tonight in weather.
In sports, Michigan and Washington State went down to the wire with a national championship on the line. We'll show you who won the Rose Bowl. We'll see you tonight after the game.
Well, it's almost over and your chance to get big savings. But there's still time. It's the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event, where you can get low 2.9 APR financing or great cashback savings on a huge selection of Chevy cars and trucks. We call it a great deal on the 98 Chevy of your dreams. But you better hurry, because if you don't get to the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event by January 5th, it's lights out.
Make your money count today at your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer.
Watch CU take on Oklahoma Saturday at 2 on 7 News.
This is college football on ABC Sports.
The Buckeyes leading the second half by 5 points, but Janikowski, 240-pound Janikowski, ready to attempt a field goal. The native of Poland, grew up playing soccer, joined his father Henrik in Daytona Beach, and after his father came here to play soccer, and look how high he whacks that ball through for 3 points for the Noles. So Janikowski regains 3 of the 5, and we will continue with the fourth quarter of the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Hope my car gets fixed today.
And my sink. And my furnace.
And my lawnmower.
What? You idiot! You're gonna get us caught.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down,
Eddie!
make it a Bud Light.
Another Nokia discovery. Small words are hard to read, which is why at Nokia, we make wireless phones with screens that are big, so they're easier to read. Inspired technology with a human touch. Nokia. Connecting people.
Are Are you going to fix that fence today?
Yep.
1948 was the first year for Ford F-Series, and after 50 years, there are more tough F-Series trucks still on the road today than any other make. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough for 50 years strong.
It's been 50 years, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it's about time you fixed that fence.
Yeah.
The most dangerous enemies are those that hide in plain sight.
They look pretty human to me.
Premiering in 2 weeks on ABC. Prey.
Florida State closing out a great era with the seniors who are playing in their final game here. They lead at 24-8. Stanikowski wails away again. And it'll come out on the 20-yard line. You know, we asked Bobby Bowden just how good this senior class has been. Here's what he had to say.
You know, this is as good a senior class as I've ever had. Now, there's a reason for that. They are older. They're more mature. We got more fifth-year seniors I can ever remember. I mean, we got 15 seniors. I bet you 12 of them are fifth-year seniors, you know. And so they've given us the leadership. They're the reason for our success.
Sam Howard, one of the fifth-year seniors. Statistically, this class has been responsible for 178 touchdowns, 1,400 points, better than 1,100 tackles, and 97 sacks. What a group of seniors. Jermaine returns, and on the release, he was hit.
And Greg Spires, one of those seniors, was the guy that was wrapping his hands around the throat of Joe Germain. Number 90 is Spires. Germain, 5-step drop, and there's that pressure. And down goes Germain again. First play in, first play down.
D. Miller shuttles the play in for Cooper's Ohio State sideline. Wadsworth is in at left defensive end, and the Buckeyes will put a tight end Lumpkin over on him and run away from him. And here is Wiley behind Keller. And Rackley, number 5, makes the stop for the Seminoles. And Jackaroo, what a great collection of athletes Bobby Bowden has had coming through Tallahassee, huh?
Well, Brent, he's a hard taskmaster. You know, he requires 3 rules from his coaches, his staff, and his players, and they all know it by heart. First, he doesn't allow swearing. In fact, there's a fine jar that the coaches have to put in when they're reviewing film. Second, he doesn't allow drinking. That's enforced throughout the season. And third, and this is the best rule that Bobby Bowden has, have faith in the coach.
Yeah, exactly. Faith indeed. What a great job he has done since moving to that job from West Virginia. Remember, Florida State was a nowhere team when he went down there. Jermaine blindside down. Held on to the ball. Blitzed by Todd Fryer. The man who has stepped in as the nickelback, and Jermaine never saw him coming.
He never saw him coming because he came from his blind side off the slot, right side of the screen. Fryer with real good speed drops his helmet right in the small of the back of Joe Germain. 4 sacks now for Florida State as they raise their total on the year to 68.
Folks, this team's not going to win a national championship, Florida State, but I'm here to tell you they can play with anybody in the land. You're going to have. And just ask the Gators. They had to turn in some game to beat them. Now there's a high punt. Feaster back. 44-yard line and down at the 45. Joe Germain over on that side. I'm interested to ask him to compare the Michigan defense with the Florida State defense after the game. I want to see his comments. We'll be right back.
Competition can't explain how a car that broke all the molds still has enough power to keep blowing away the stereotypes. Ford Taurus SE Sport, now with a 200 horsepower Duratec V6. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Want whiter teeth in just 2 weeks? Then try Arm & Hammer Extra Whitening, the baking soda formula clinically proven to whiten teeth in 2 weeks. Arm & Hammer Extra Whitening, whiter teeth in just 2 weeks.
I'm getting the band back together.
The hottest, hippest, and most destructive band in history is ready for an encore. Yes! Blues Brothers 2000, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 6th.
I will not accept anything less than a perfect quad twisting triple.
I will not accept anything less than my personal best.
I will not accept anything less than 80 miles per hour.
I will not accept anything less than 1 minute 17 seconds.
I will not accept any card but Visa.
At the 1998 Olympic Winter Games, only the best is accepted. Visa, worldwide partner of the Nagano Games. It's everywhere you want to be.
As a new college professor, the Toolman finally gets to share his knowledge of cars.
I share that knowledge with you guys all the time.
Yeah, but now you'll be sharing it with someone who's actually interested.
A new home improvement Tuesday.
We're here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Bobby Bowden leading 24-8. And tomorrow at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, game you can catch on ESPN, Terry Bowden will lead the Auburn Tigers against the Clemson Tigers. Clemson's got a pretty good-looking linebacker. You and I like that, Simmons.
Sounds like a cat fight to me.
Yes, indeed. Here now is the handoff to Minor. Cut it back beautifully. A star of the future.
No question. True freshman. Having a heck of a day. 14 yards that time. Pretty good deception, too, by Busby as he carried out his fake.
You can see the bottom line.
Yeah, the bottom line to me, Brent, is that third quarter, Ohio State was dominant. Up and down the field, running the ball straight at Florida State, coming away with 5 points. 2 of the 5 scored by their defense.
And again, that shotgun look. At Busby's a blitz. They hand it off to Minor. Nothing doing. Down at the line of scrimmage, right at the 40-yard line. It has been a pleasure watching the pictures, my friend, offered up by our director, Drew Essercon, our producer, Jimmy Ressler.
Here, here. Happy New Year, boys. Great job today and all year long.
Patrick McManus back there on the replay truck. That's what happens to old directors, you know. This view offers you the seat you'd like to have in a football game, folks. 2nd down and 10. Busby fires. Coles, the receiver. Lavernius out of Jacksonville. Boy, did the Noles recruit some fine players out of the Jacksonville area.
And Brent, you talked about the 5th-year seniors and all of that. Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles are loaded. They played 33 freshmen this year. Think of that. 18 redshirts and 15 true freshmen.
Well, you can talk about the national championship, but to me, first things first, you got to win the state of Florida. Once you win that title, then, my friend, you're competing for the big one. Third down, and Busby fires. Oh, is that interference? I don't see a flag.
Sure think so. Damon Moore running away from the scene of the crime. Busby comes up quick with this pass, and watch Moore come in just before. Yes, sirree, Bob or Brent. You called it right. That should have been pass interference.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. That one's easy. Rick Cottrell into punt. Taking down some high snaps, hasn't he? Causes him to hurry, and on it goes on into the end zone. What a great play that was Michigan used. Set up field goal, pooch punt out of it late. Basically said, Ryan Leaf, if you can take it 96 yards, God bless you.
And 29 seconds. Tough, tall order. Great season, though, for the Washington State Cougs.
Great figure skating coming up here in the next month or so on ABC. Saturday, the Equal World Challenge of Champions. And next Thursday, of course, are U.S. championships. Who will represent this country at the Olympics upcoming in Japan? We're going to find out at the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Don't forget prime time coverage on Thursday. And here it is Joe Germain, who checks on in with 10:41 to go. Tough hombre out of Mesa, Arizona. Pulls it back, far sideline, got Boston open. Boston was out of bounds at any rate. Yeah, the one thing about Boston, young man that we were around and talked with, and outstanding, and it was so unusual to hear him and see him pop off about Woodson prior to the Michigan game. I still can't get over that.
Well, I think he just got trapped in the emotion of a big game like that, and probably was just voicing his confidence in his own abilities. But what I didn't like to see is after he made the touchdown catch against Michigan, taunting Woodson with the ball. That is classless, and I'm sure he's very contrite about the whole situation.
One of the first phone calls that night was from his daddy, who's an official in the National Football League, a fine, outstanding young official, and he was not happy with that. Germain is back, snaps it off high, incomplete. Rambo, the freshman, had cut in. Now, the one thing that I want you to remember about this is that David Boston did score here on Woodson, who slipped down, but here is the taunting. And, of course, that's resulting in a penalty, and I'm sure it's something that the young man will not repeat, and he has a future ahead of him playing in his daddy's league, if we can call it that, although I'm sure that his father will not be officiating any of his games when he goes up to the NFL. He's an outstanding young talent. He'll be back in Columbus next year.
Yeah, the only problem is that everybody sees that, and then every game he's going to play now until his career is over, there's going to be some defensive back trying to get into his head.
Reggie Germany is in at wide receiver underneath Miller. Out of bounds far side at the 25-yard line. Todd Pryor, who has been active. Remember, he's the nickel man. Saunders had to move over to the corner. Samari rolled. It was so unfortunate. The last time we see the number 2, he was coming off the field because of an injury, and they retire that jersey tonight.
Yeah, you know, I get a feeling, though, that when Deion Sanders takes a liking to some young superstar cornerback here at Florida State, he may just say, son, you may wear my jersey.
You know, I wish that more stars would do that, to tell you the truth. I think it's great that Archie Griffin said he wanted Katsumoria to wear 45 at Ohio State. I think it's terrific.
You ain't getting mine out of mothballs, buddy.
Oh, you're a hard man. Here's the fake. Up the middle. Wide open. The short man. And that's Rudzinski, the linebacker, who busted up the middle for 24 yards. Seems like I've seen that play before. Wasn't it Colorado State? Didn't my friend Sonny Lubick haul one in against Missouri with this? Now watch the punter go in the air.
And so did Washington against Michigan State. They went 64 yards for a touchdown on a play just like this. Rudzinski with the big play.
Here's Bartholomew. He's got to carry. Oh, bad snap.
This is what it looks like from behind the punter. That's the key block right there. That was Marcel Willis, number 46, with the trap block. That opened that huge hole. Great call by John Cooper. What do you got to lose?
24-8 and 10:07, and Buckeyes, let's see if they get a lift out of that. Germain's got Wadsworth in his face and won't get away. Andre Wadsworth. If it wasn't for the presence of Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf, this fella could well be the first player, and still maybe, who knows. So much muscle, so much speed. And remember, a year ago, he was a defensive tackle. He had Peter Boulware and Reinhold Wilson outside of him at the ends. And they moved him outside to end in the spring. Coach Bowden wasn't too sure how it was going to work out, but it has worked out splendidly for the Seminoles. Thank you very much. Number 85, Mickey Andrews, is going to miss him next year. Comes Keller, the fullback. Pryor couldn't get him. Forced out of bounds by the freshman corner, Cody.
And now remember, with 9 minutes to go in this ball game, 9:06, Buckeyes trail by 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. So at midfield, they're imperative that they pick up a first down here and go down and score touchdowns. Enough of these field goal tries.
After the fake punt, Germain left with half a field. But the Noles have been extremely tough. Injuries and all. And you want to watch Sam Coward, number 1. Germain slips, tries to regain it, gets away, picks up a block, fires down a far side, caught, Lumpkin, touchdown, Ohio State. How about that one, huh?
The first thing that happens is Germain almost falls down by himself. He's been rocked so much in the pocket. Gets away from Bryant right there, and now keeps his head up the field. Watch this catch by Sean Lumpkin. All 6'8", the basketball player reaches down and makes an unbelievable catch off his shoe top, juggles once, and then dives and scores. Wow, what a play.
All right, Dan, here comes the two-pointer now. And the Bucks have to keep it going. 9 minutes.
They're 0 for 1 in two-point conversions this year, so they're due.
Pepe Pearson in at the tail. Germain looks right side, back of the end zone, incomplete. And they fail with the two-point attempt. Miller being defended by Dexter Jackson. But the touchdown was set up by the fake punt. Bartholomew pretending to have the ball snapped over his head. Brzezinski, the linebacker, straight ahead. And from there, the Buckeyes march in for their first touchdown on a great effort by Lumpkin. I'm out at the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
It is a test, not just of strength, but of the power of the mind. And if you complete the journey, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Dilbert for Office Depot.
Just as I thought. My cubicle is 2 inches smaller today than yesterday.
We installed real-time status adjusters. Sensors monitor your work and adjust the cubicle size according to your value.
It's amazing how fast you get used to it.
Here's a business idea that actually makes sense. Free delivery from Office Depot on any order over $50. Everything you need delivered right to your door. Office Depot delivers. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
Well, if I had money, I'd tell you what to do. I'd go downtown, buy a Ford truck or two. I'm crazy about a Ford truck. Lord, I'm crazy about a Ford truck. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
For the last 50 years, there's only been one truck built Ford tough.
It's another Rogaine Bowl report from the Rose Bowl. Once again, Brian Griese, a great day, a little play action here, and he tosses this one deep. Ty Streets comes up with a touchdown, and he says they're national champs.
To come to the Rose Bowl and play a great Washington State team and win, you know, is there anything else? I ask you, is there anything else you want us to do, you know?
21-16, they have been crowned. Brent, back to you.
All right, John, thank you very much. And here, Florida State's lead over Ohio State has been whittled to 10, but it was a big miss on the two-pointer. We'll show you some replays on the touchdown and the missed conversion. Stringer, who is checked in, fields it at the 1. Breaks free. Stringer with an alley. An impressive return to the 32, but we've got to go back and show you that touchdown catch by John Lumpkin, a junior.
He's only caught 15 balls all year. Dexter Jackson not big enough to stop the 260-pound Lumpkin. This is why you make a basketball player into a tight end. They got great hands. Jackson is involved in the conversion attempt as well as he flashes right in front of D. Miller, gets a finger on the ball, and keeps Miller from converting.
Now the Noles will see what they can do about that time. At 8:44, they lead by 2 scores, up by 10. Minor stays in as tailback, and Busby going to fire it downfield on first down, and E.G. Green. Oh, brother, what a catch. Winfield all over him, and somehow he makes the catch at the 26, a 42-yard gain.
You gotta like this type of football, Brett, you know? Let her rip. 7 catches for 176 yards now for E.G. Green. Antoine Winfield was all over him.
And the Buckeyes need a stop here with E.G. Green averaging better than 25 yards a catch. With the time left, the Buckeyes can ill afford to fall down by 3 scores. First down. And Minor squirts to the 21.
The big play has been the trademark of Florida State all year long. Came into today's game with 70 plays over 20 yards in distance. 17 of those touchdowns. Today they've had 6 of them, and that's got to make Mark Richt awful happy, the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach.
7:49 on the clock. The Noles drive to the Buckeyes 21. Here's your second down. Buckeyes shift at the line, and Glenn, the fullback, pounds inside the 20-yard line. This will lead 3rd and short coming up here. And we welcome you Night Owls to the Nokia Sugar Bowl here in the Big Easy. The last one going down on New Year's Day, and it's been a good one. Hard-hitting football. Florida State and Ohio State. 7:14 on the clock. And a monstrous 3rd down play coming up here, Dan Fouts.
And to paraphrase Marv Levy, where would you rather be than right here and right now?
Here it comes. And the Noles, realizing how important this is, are going to call a timeout. So we'll take a break at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Be right back.
You don't need binoculars to see why Escort is so popular. It's a value so enticing, it's like getting cake with extra icing. You can get power, lots of power, power galore, to whisk down the windows and unlock the doors, adjust the side mirrors, but wait, there is more. Opt for a remote, AC, a smooth automatic, and a CD player for the music fanatic. And if that's not enough, you can get an anti-theft system to protect this good stuff. The buck starts here for Escort thrills, somewhat higher, loaded to the gills.
Tonight's topic, Free Friday. Yeah. Sir, you played a critical role in the creation of the new Burger King fries that are being given away this Friday?
That's right, Bill. Free Friday.
Amazing. Now this.
The crispy new Burger King fries beat McDonald's fries in a nationwide taste test. Stop in Friday, January 2nd for a free small order.
Welcome back. Why give them away?
It's giving something back. I started from the ground up.
Literally.
How do you catch an evil? What goes around really goes around. That passes from person to person. Beware my wrath. High touch.
Put the gun down! I'm a detective. My work is based upon evidence.
They can only survive in the bodies of others.
Haven't you done enough?
Denzel Washington, John Goodman, Donald Sutherland.
Leave my family alone.
Fallen.
But I'm still having fun.
Rated R. Starts Friday, January 16th.
ABC Sports presentation of the 1998 Nokia Sugar Bowl is brought to you by Nokia Wireless Phones. Inspired technology with a human touch. Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks, are built Ford tough. The NASDAQ stock market shaping the new world of investing. And Burger King, where you can get your burgers worth. Oh, we've come down to 3rd down and 3 for the Seminoles, leading at 24-14 by 10. 6:57 to go in the final quarter here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl. After a timeout, they ought to be all ready here, Mr. Fouts. What do you think they'll come up with here, partner?
Well, it's interesting situation here. I think they're going to throw the ball.
Would not be unlike the Knowles. They put it. Minor is not going to get it. Great defense. First of all, the linebacker, 52, came across. That was Kevin Johnson. Then it was Damon Moore, the safety, who cleaned up for the Buckeyes. And it is 4th down, field goal time.
This is excellent defense. Rudzinski is taken out by Thomas. There is Johnson. There is Moore. And there is no first down.
Janikowski, a 37-yarder.
I wonder if Janikowski didn't see Antoine Winfield coming in from the right side and at the last minute just yanked that ball wide right.
You don't want to say wide right around Bobby Bowden.
Well, it was. There's Winfield from the left side, and whatever they want to call that, Brent, it's no good.
That's a painful memories, partner. Wide right. Oh, mercy. Yeah.
That looked like one of Charles Looper's passes.
Man who won $40,000 at halftime in the Nokia $1 million toss.
Very much.
Goes back home a happy man. 6:13 to go. Big miss. Trail by 10 instead of 13. Now it's up to Jermaine and the Bucks to get something going again. Miller. Jermaine underneath and dropped by the running back who had slipped out Keller into that flat.
Yeah, that ball was thrown behind Matt Keller. Keller's had a busy day. Had a couple of carries, but primarily he's been the lead blocker for Pepe Pearson and the pass protector for both Stanley Jackson and Joe Jermaine.
Just about have to figure that the Buckeyes need a touchdown drive here. 6 minutes to go.
And they got to do it in a hurry because they're down by 10, so that means they need 2 scores.
80 yards away. 2nd down. Jermaine and Pepe Pearson had slipped a bit too far ahead of him that time, and Wadsworth was coming hard off the edge. Jermaine did not have a whole lot of time, and they didn't hook up.
Now this is real good pressure again as that ball just looked like it slipped out of Jermaine's hands. Pearson did not run that bad a pattern to be missed by that much.
Let me check that. That was Theon Rackley, the rover, who came up and blitzed. And he was bringing most of the heat. And now Jackson checks in. Stanley Jackson will handle his 3rd and 10. He'll sit back with his shotgun. He's going to try to run out of it. And nothing doing. Wadsworth will not let him have an inch.
Stanley Jackson being sacked by Andre Wadsworth.
That shows you Wadsworth is a smart player as well, because he sees that Jackson's in the game, and he knows that Jackson's first instinct, if somebody's not open right now, is to take off running. They now have sacked the quarterback 70 times this year.
Too many men on the field, and then they go off on the wrong side. They had a Buckeye leave the field on the Florida State side. And I thought I could go off on any side here.
David Mitchell, number 3.
We don't see him very often, and he just
illegal substitution on the offense.
He just paid a visit over here to the Knowles side. And they'll remind him that you have to leave on your team's side.
Maybe he's colorblind or something.
Could be. Feaster standing back at the Knowles 41. Rudzinski would love to do it again, but he's not the favorite to get another fake call here. Feaster. 35-yard line. Down at the 41-yard line here. 4:50 left in the Nokia Sugar Bowl. And the Seminoles up by 2 scores, 24-14.
Every year I try to quit smoking cold turkey, but this year is my year. I'm committed. I'm psyched. And I have help, Nicorette gum, to help control my cravings. It's not like the patch. Nicorette lets me decide how much nicotine to use and when to use it, so I can stop smoking now. The idea is, by this time next year, to save enough money by not smoking